How are we all doing on this frankly too warm Friday? It is truly a day that we get to look at some new Warhammer, which is what I've been doing for most of the last 56 hours or whatever it's been at this point. But yeah, we got some new rules for some new armies. Got to fix some lists. Tom says, is it too late to submit a fix my list? It absolutely is, I'm afraid. I am looking at 15 lists tonight. 25 were submitted, so unfortunately I am unable to look at all of them this evening. Getting through as many as I can. There is just too much interest, which is great. Lovely that people are super keen to get some fix my list action going. I am unfortunately away next Friday because it's my brother's stag do, so I don't know. I'm toying with the idea of doing a midweek fix my list. I'm not committing to that because I've got a lot of stuff going on next week. Obviously trying to get a lot of videos out because I have a full practice day with England tomorrow, and then I'm spending Sunday with my partner on Sunday. I have been just sat in front of this PC recording and editing for, what time are we now? 8 PM. About 11 hours, so it's going to be about 13 hours by the time that this stream finishes, and then I've got another hour and a half or so of editing to get everything wrapped up. But man, it has been busy. Fix my stag do, yeah. I was half considering, do I take like a laptop or something, and on the Saturday night just go and sit in and do some recording. Hey!
If only there was an emoji that encompassed how I'm doing this too warm Friday.
This too warm Friday is the emoji rat emoji, as my my text-to-speech would say. Hello to everyone who's here. Got some of the usual names. Good to have you all. Jay Martin's here as well. I will be looking at your list, and you'll be borrowing my models next weekend, so I need to remember to take those to the TSN Arena on like next Thursday or something. Otherwise, you won't be playing the game. That would be a problem. Hitmug says, now I can get some relax between studying sessions for your exam. Hey! Hope the exam prep is going well. Hope you do well with that. John says, I was shocked at how many lists got submitted this week. I expected there to be a lot. I didn't expect there to be 25. Reverse stag do when the divorce comes through. Hell yeah, absolutely. I think a party like a stag do makes more sense when you're getting divorced than it does compared to when you're, you know, ready to get married. Makes more logical sense to me anyway, but enjoy. Hello everyone there. Your username got to reset back to normal. Oh, you're welcome, Jaman. You are welcome. Steve shot me a message just saying, do I have any models that you can use? And I absolutely do. He's using, it'll be like, I think half of his stuff and half of mine stuff. YouTube is weird. Stopped using my screen name. You had applied. Yeah, I don't really understand the logic. I know there was like some sort of Google reset in the middle of like 2020, 2021, where they were like, actually, we're going to make everyone use real names. Maybe it was longer ago. God, I'm old. You will forever forget to post a list. Doomed to forget. That's grim. Poor guy. All right. Well, how's everyone feeling? We all hyped about new rules? We feeling good? Yoda says, cheers from France. Hell yeah. Glad to have you. Always nice to see international representation. Margaret made it to one of these. Can't see how wait to see how list building has changed. Yeah, it's exciting stuff. And I'm not even going to claim that I've fully, you know, wrapped my head around it. I have thoughts. I definitely have thoughts. But I think this is very 1A, 1B, like, I'm at the start of solidifying my thought process for it. It's Vesper anyway. Doubt you're doing mine. Yeah, sorry, because you had one last week. Basically, everyone who got one last week didn't make the cut, and then some people who didn't have one last week didn't make the cut either. It has been a slammed set of submissions. Ready for someone to break your favourite game. There was this feels like name dropping, but I was talking to Rob earlier this morning. He shot me a message, and Rob, as in Squarebase Rob, his heresy video, someone had left a comment shitting on me to praise him, which was funny. They were saying that they didn't want, I can't remember exactly what the wording was. In fact, let me just pull that up on my phone. I'll have a look. I'll read you the comment. It was good. I enjoyed reading it. Yeah, there we said. The key to an enjoyable game as an Old World EO, I'm not sure what EO stands for, maybe Enjoyer, and regular Heresy event attendee is interactive lists. If you bring exclusively the busted stuff, it's uninteractive and one-sided. If you just bring the busted stuff, it's like Matey Boy from Close Order Podcast with his triple dragon nonsense. Now, first of all, excuse you. I have double dragon nonsense. How dare you, sir? And it's fine, you know. You're welcome to enjoy what you want to enjoy. I don't come to your house and shit on your floor, so, yeah. I mean, I guess I can't stop people from disliking me. No, you can't have 100% success rate, and that is okay. But I did think it was funny. Oh, also I should say, I don't think any of you would. Do not go and find that comment and brigade it. That would be rude to do. So I don't want to send him hate. I want to laugh at him, but I don't want you to go and find him and rag on him. EO event organizer? Okay, sure. Well, if you're an event organizer and you're upset at people bringing good stuff, you're going to be upset, I think. Going to be upset. You won't leave my models on the side of the road, which is probably why Steve is borrowing off you in the first place. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Man, I can't keep up with the chat. I'm gonna be real, the rules shake-up got reinvigorated my hype to build lists. Yeah, absolutely. For like 6 weeks before the FAQ actually dropped, because I knew it was coming, or like we knew it was coming in some level. It was so hard to motivate myself to try and be innovative and to even really play games with old rules, because we knew that there was the match play guide coming. So nice to see the changes there. Big fan of that. Characters and chariots look strong. I like them. I think rumors of the demise of dragons are greatly exaggerated, but I think there is more space for stuff like chariots. So that'll be good. John closed the Dowie After Dark stream just to be here. Sorry, Richie. Sorry, Richie. I didn't even know he was streaming. What is he streaming? What's he got going on at the moment? Is he streaming with the Mountain? I think he's been doing regular streams with the Mountain. Maybe those are on Tuesdays. Tried to run triple dragons in 8th, couldn't quite fit it in by like 5 points at 2,400. Oof. You can do triple dragons now. It's just you got to do it with Warriors of Chaos, really. Good even Voltron. Some of the best lists are interactive. That's why they're good. The best lists, I would say, are uninteractive. So if your opponent doesn't have, you know, options to make, then it's harder for them to beat you. Which is not as fun to play against, but if you're looking purely competitively, that is something to go with. Lion Chariot has big stonks, prove me wrong. I don't disagree. I don't think... oh, he's streaming with Charlie. Should have checked in with them. Oh, well. I'll catch up on it later. Yeah, Lion Chariots are good. The actual White Lions got Furious Charge. I don't think the Chariots did. That feels like a bit of an oversight. Alright, Steve, whose list is first? We could have a look at J. Martin's first in a second. No harm in that. Wizard on Dragon into infantry better than a fighty lord. Potentially, yeah. Yeah, I'm not upset at the idea of a wizard and a lord on dragon. Going back to my Dark Elf roots. You feel like non-character monsters got a buff. Necrosphinx looking spicy. Necrosphinx, yeah, it was already good. Now it's Goodogura. Although there's more infantry, so like more combat res, so it did get a little bit of a nerf. Finally motivated to build my Warriors of Chaos Battalion box as we speak. Excellent stuff. Interactive for the user in the sense of having a lot of agency, uninteractive for the opponent. Yeah, I think that's what they were complaining about. Lists that are uninteractive for the opponent. Which is like a fair complaint, but if you're trying to play at the top level, that is a very valid strategy to try and give yourself a better chance of winning. Looking forward to Dirthu's wrathing some infantry. Hell yeah. Yeah, the assailment spell that Wood Elves got that hits every model in the fighting rank, well, now the fighting rank just doubled for infantry. So huge, huge fan of that. You are living in the future with your trace list and carrots and chariot. Hell yeah. Impact hits make up for it. Impact hits look very good. If you can put stuff, if you can give stuff impact hits, you are going to struggle to get challenged out, basically. A Chorf's the best faction now, is it, Skaven? I think I am interested in playing around with Skaven. Like, I don't think they're good, but I think they are better.
Get those lists out. Get those lists out. Get those lists out for the lads. Get those lists out for the lads. And any part of your body you think will get more viewers.
Thank you so much, Steve. Really appreciate that. And also, love being held hostage for the slow text-to-speech voice to go through what was almost a football chant. I'm not sure that getting my body out at all would help, especially given that I've been sat in my arse so much for the last 2 weeks doing so many videos. Because that's all I've been doing. I think my goal is, as soon as I turn this stream off, I'm going to go for a walk, come back, have a shower, and then get a blessed 6 or 7 hours sleep. That'll be fun. Thankfully, the Bretts you painted didn't get hit too hard. Yeah, Brett's kind of dodged the Nerf hammer. Come in, Mr. Order, score some fucking goals. Oh man, football, like British football culture, outside of the violence, is so funny. I enjoy just, I don't know. I don't want to say laughing at them, laughing with them, maybe. There's a lot of fun stuff there. It took so long to read that super chat. Damn right it did. Feet are always a good one to draw viewers. You're not seeing my... I'm not going to put my feet on the internet for free. In this economy, Bretts have a hidden special rule, protects them from nerfs. Yeah, it's the blessing of the lady. It's a two-parter. Everyone just read the first part, which gave them the ward save. It's the second part. Human with halberds. Yeah, human were looking real spicy. And also spears are just bad now. Spears are less useful. There are some niche cases where spears are probably going to be worth looking at, but yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. So, like I said, let's start with J Martin's list. Let's see what we got. So, we're going to start off with a Wyvern. Black Orc, Warboss Wyvern, Talisman of Protection, Trailhard Trousers, Great Weapon, Full Plate. Yeah, this is just like the generic good stuff. You're capped at a 3-up save, so no shield. Good stuff there. Yeah, perfect. I wouldn't be upset to throw... I was going to say we could throw a Paymaster's Coin on there, but if you call the Y, you'll get to reroll your ones to hit anyway, so it doesn't feel super necessary. Is there anything else? Headbutting Hat? I don't think we need the Headbutting Hat, and especially now that you can't stack them. Giving it an impact hit outside of the challenge would be nice, but I don't think it's particularly useful. Wardian Glory's chair cam when he goes off stream always gets lots of likes. Yeah, like I've definitely noticed that not him specifically, but a lot of streamers, communities, in a way of winding them up, are more engaged when they leave the stream because they think it's funny, and I think that's hilarious. But I don't leave the stream. That's the trick. Bretts have that Matt Ward save. Nice. Star Dragon plus Dragon Mage. Tell us the verdict, Mr. Order. Is this the age? I think it might be double Star Dragon. Like an Archmage on a Star Dragon. I just look at a Toughness 5 Dragon and I go, I don't love it. Chair Order when. You'll have to wait. I'm looking at getting a walking, like a standing desk, and also a treadmill. Because I spend so much time at my desk now, I think that would just be a good way to make sure I'm getting in my steps as well as possible. That'd be nice. Don't play with my heart. That's been a very playable build for a while. I mean, I was doing it with Dark Elves, but the Wizard and Lord on Dragon, the double dragon build, that was pretty consistently decent. Greetings from Deutschland. Hey, Adrian. What do you estimate being the top 3 scoring core units in the game? Oh, that's a good question to put me on the spot. Yeoman really good. Graveguard / zombies for vampire counts, and probably just skeleton warriors for Tomb Kings. Basically, undead infantry are super good. Undead fast cav are super good, or just fast cav in general. But yeah, those 3, because Yeoman Guard are not far off being undead. They're like undead light. They're living, but they've got all of the benefits of being undead. So some good stuff there. Seems to be more than decent now with a good reason. Lore. Yeah, Illusion was my sort of go-to lore for the Archmage on a Star Dragon. Just because you're going to be taking a level 3 so you can actually buy items. Some of the maths on those laws is stinky. Oh, it is. And there's a full video about magic coming tomorrow. I'm not going to pull up my files just because I can't be bothered to change scenes, but there's a load of clips that I need to finish editing for tomorrow's video. Literally painting guards at the moment. Hell yeah. Drain magic stocks surely have gone huge. I've talked to a couple of people who like it. I am less convinced. I think it's decent. It's better than it was. I'm not sure it's going to be amazing, because you can still dispel it, and you have to be in range of your opponent for it to go off, so we'll see. Beastman stuff turned up this week, but I hate putting these things together. Next time would be 3D prints. Yep, that's super fair. You're welcome, Adrian. Right, okay, let's talk about this army. So, we've got a great Black Orc build here on Wyvern. Weird Knob level 4, Idle Mork Battle Magic. Idle Mork's probably decent. I almost would be tempted to go Idle of Gork. So giving us the plus Dispel in the Dispel range is just really solid defense. Maybe we go with that, because that gives us a lot of coverage. Then we've got a big boss, Great Weapon, BSB, War Banner, on foot, Troll High Trousers. So this goes with the Black Orcs. Yeah, I like that. But previously, I'd have said this goes on a Warboar, but now that it can't be defended, if it's on a different unit type to what it is, I would say no. What I would change here, let's get rid of that shield, and let's go Charm Shield. For 3 more points, you just get a once per game ward save. You have to be using the hand weapon shield for it to pop, but if you get cannoned or something, it's really nice to not get sniped out. So good stuff there. Then we've got this big boss, who has Cav Spear, Heavy Armor, Shield, Warboar, Troll-Eye Trousers, Charm Shield. I mean, I think it might just be Great Weapon for this character, to be honest. That might just be the way to go, realistically. Great Weapons are just great, you know? So I'd rather have that. Even though you're at lower initiative, you're just going to hit so much harder. Yeah, let's go with that. And then we'll go Odgit, which is a level 1 on foot war magic with a Fungus Wine. Fungus Wine's good to make sure the Night Goblins don't run away. Don't hate that at all. And we've gone war magic. Let's go illusion here, because you might be going for right. We're going to put you on illusion. The reason we're going illusion is you've got a really low bonus to casting, so you might want to just go for Glittering Robes. And if you have a spell that you need to roll a 7 for, it goes off 56% of the time. So this is a solid buff. You can also go with the Lure of Mork for Itchy Nuisance, but that's on a 9. They might have, you'll have to be in Dispel range. They might have Magic Resist, so it's a little bit harder to guarantee getting off. So a level 1 cast with Illusion is not a bad buy at all. Everything in great in its name. It needs to be good. Great weapon, great cannon, great swords. Hell yeah, great swords. Wait, hold on. Hold on, you bamboozled me. So the fanatics do more. Steve says Itchy Nuisance. Itchy Nuisance is really good, but if we're going Itchy Nuisance, let's index into it, because Itchy Nuisance is fantastic. So let's just go. We'll go for a level 3 wizard here, and we'll go War Magic, because if we're not taking Glittering Robes, we may as well go here. And we'll take a single Fungus Wine. 2 would be better, but it's also not a super expensive unit, so 1's probably good enough. Can I just click, please? Oh, I have clicked. Okay. And then let's go. I would like a couple of Power Scrolls, because you really want that Itchy Nuisance to go off. Our Great Sword's amazing now that they're Strength 4. They're better. They're certainly better. Any infantry that's not in core is immediately a little bit of a hard sell for me. Okay, so we've got a big unit of Black Orcs, 19 of them. We've got 12 shields, 10 great weapons, 9 additional hand weapons. We can save loads of points here. I think you're probably going to be fine with either hand weapon, shield, or great weapons. That will sort of cover all of your bases. So we're just going to go 9 of each on this. Makes it nice and easy. We've got Stubborn and Veteran. We've got Full Command. We've got Big Red Raggedy Flag here. I like all of those things. Maybe we put some Magic Resist in, but it's okay for now. How important are Fungus Wine? I like them. They're not super important, but if you can squeeze them in, they're good. They were really important when it was big units, but basically if you're facing off against a dragon and you want to make sure you don't flee from it, you drink it when you know that you don't have to make a frenzied charge. You become immune to psychology. You don't run off the point. It's nice to have. It's more nice now that we've got objectives, but you can skimp on it potentially. Orc mobs, we've got 30 of them. Full command here, no upgrades. Frenzy. Oh, spicy. Big Uns, Big Stabbers, Warpaint, Shields. Okay. I don't know that this unit's going to do a huge amount, but I also don't think it's bad. It's just quite expensive for what it does. But it's going to be fun. Let's go back to that one. 17 Boar Boys. That is a ludicrous amount of Boar Boys. Banner of Butchery, I love that. Cav Spears, Heavy Armor, Big Gun Shields. This is a great unit. Absolutely great. And the Thinking Orcs hat so that you don't lose control of them. Really good stuff there. Impetuosity, not as bad as it was, but still nice to have a bonus to controlling it. Double Artillery here. Lovely, lovely stuff. Yeah, I like this. I like the vibes. There's a lot of stuff that I think is fun. I'm going to drop... they're so cheap. We need to shave some points here. So what are we going to do? There's a point of how many models there are painted. Yeah. Oh, have you got all that many Ball Boys? Or do you still need to borrow some of those? Gonna be fun is the vibe. Yeah, hell yeah. This looks like a really fun army to play. I think we probably just shave off a couple of bits and pieces. So here, this is perfect. This big boss with the BSB. Right, okay. So we're gonna go a little bit cheaper here. We're gonna shave. Leave the charm shield on. We're gonna take the trollhide trousers off on the big boss here. Just shave ourselves some points. Need to borrow Ball Boys. I got like 26, mate. So you are more than welcome to borrow them. I still need to dig them out, but I definitely have them. The list could be completely different. I like it. I like what you're going for. It's also relatively straightforward. So I know J. Martin's newer to the game, so I think this plays in a really linear style. I think it works well enough. You've got a couple of Doom Divers here, a couple of Rock Lobbers. That's going to do some good value for you. You've got a wall of scoring infantry in front of them that some of it's frenzied, which is funny. Then you've got a big unit of Ball Boys to absolutely crush the opponent. And I'm a huge fan of that. Do we want Battle Magic? I think Battle Magic's still fine. Yeah, Battle Magic's still fine. Hey, Pat. Yeah, your list hasn't come up yet. But I can get to you in the near future. So I think the way to do this is we probably just shave off a few models here. So we go down to 14. 14 is still a ludicrously large unit. Do we want this unit to have a magic standard? That's the question. They're frenzied already. It would be really funny to give them the Spider Banner. To give them... it's only a 6s to wound, but +2 to wound is very funny in that case. The Banner of the Nomads, no. There's one that gives you plus movement, but I think that's locked to Nomadic War. Or is it War Banner? I mean, I don't hate the War Banner here, you know. Let's go for it. Let's make this unit really uncontrollable. So now we still need to shave off 40 points. 30 is good, but let's just... Oh, it's only 5 points for Big Stabbers? Alright, I'm not going to drop those. We've got hand weapon shields. Let's just drop to 26. And then we're going to drop a musician somewhere. Where do we want to drop a musician? Where do I like it the least? I think we're going to drop it on the... No, the Ball Boys really like it, because it lets them march around, if needs be. Let's just drop a single Night Goblin. There we go. I like that. I think that's solid. Let's have a look here. Level 4, the Black Orcs, the ward save. Yeah, 100%. They also have the throwing spears, could change to thrusting. I think you're going to want to use hand weapon shields here quite a lot, honestly. Just getting that 5-up armor save, plus having the ward save from Warpaint. I don't think the Frenzied unit is super optimal, but I also think it's a fun one to use, and that's why we're putting the War Banner on it. So I think there's a lot of good stuff in here. Let's link that one in. But if you do have any questions, Martin, feel free to ping me about it. Yeah, no, it looks good. I think this is a good, fun place to start. I think that I'd call this like Orcs and Goblins fun stuff. Big bricks of infantry, backed up by artillery, backed up by a big Death Star of Ball Boys with a character in. I think this is a really solid list to get playing around with. Cool. All right. Pat Van Der Est. I think we had your list in here. Let's have a look. Yes, so yours was the Lamian Field Vampire Count. Would love to hear your thoughts on how to make it work. It feels like trying to fit too much into the points. Magic laws are up for grabs, although the counter should be a spellcaster at least at level 1. I've found a new system. I've put notes into the notes section, so I don't have to flick through on Discord to find the information about the list. I feel very big brain. Feel very big brain indeed. So, we've got a Renegades list. You feel like you've put too many points into... Okay, that's fair. So, we've got a level 2 Vampire with a great weapon, full plate, Coven Throne, Master of the Black Arts... Huh. What does a Coven Throne do? Ghoulish Glamour. Okay, doesn't actually matter into anything that makes a difference. Some impact hits. Chariots are cool. Chariots are cool. Scrying Pool. Bounce Spell level 2. Reroll hit rolls of 1. That's kind of cool. It's very expensive for what you get, but I kind of dig it. 5 wounds at T5 with a 4-up save. You've got your ward and regen built in, potentially. You're very welcome, Mr. Martin. I was going to write this off immediately, but I actually think this is an incredibly big brain play. I'm a huge fan of it. You haven't got ward saves on either of your big things, and I think that is very necessary. So we're going to go Talisman Protection here on the Vampire count. Oh, it takes you to 503. Oh, that's so expensive. You realise the Covenant... Oh, you've put notes in here as well. Is Lamia themed and I have the model. Law Familiar Field's mandatory, but no points. Would love to ditch armor and gain first strike. How do we salvage the points on this? Honestly, I don't think the wizard is super important. Unless, was it meant to be an illusion caster? Opinion on Saurus Warriors versus Skinks. Saurus Warriors seem like really solid to me right now. How does this work? I have a list that I need to cut points out of. Yamnats, the way that it works is on a Thursday night or a Friday morning, I will open up the Fix My List channel. I'll open it to submissions. People can submit until about an hour before the stream starts, and I will try and get through as many as possible, but I can't always get through all of them, so there isn't going to be a stream next week, unfortunately, because I am at my brother's stag do. Okay. I think, because we're not going for Lore Familiar, I think we drop the casting. Pretty much entirely, honestly. I don't think the casting is valuable here. I think you're better off just using the fact that you're solid. You've got a bound spell on the Coven Throne. Maybe you make it a level 1 wizard. If you make it a level 1 wizard, you then get to... wait, hold on. Does the Coven Throne come with an armor save? It does come with a 4-up save. Yeah, okay. It's very expensive for what you get that Coven Throne, but it's interesting. I am interested in it. So let's assume we've dropped the shield. We've dropped the Talisman Protection. We're just going to go Great Weapon. And we're going to rely on the 4-up armor save of the Coven Throne. We've got a 5-up ward from the Talisman Protection. You've got a 5-up regen here as well. I think that's pretty cool. Ooh, actually, can you go... Could go Coven Throne for a Vampire Thrall, which would be a BSB. That's maybe something I'm going to play around with in the future. I think it's probably too expensive to be super worthwhile, but it's fine. So if we go level 1 Wizard, just so you've got a Dispel threat in there, you've got Talisman Protection. That saves us a lot of points here. Is there anything else that we want to go for, since we've saved all of those points? Frostblade is not... No. Sort of Kings? One of these is half decent. It's fine. I don't hate that, but it's not. It's very expensive for what it does. You can't use a lance because you're not mounted. You're on a chariot. Huh. Honestly, this feels fine. Like, I'd probably go more cheap on the Lord. In fact... Let's go Armor of Meteoric Iron. Obviously, this is Renegade, so you can have armor and be a wizard. But this gives you an unmodifiable 5-up, 5-up, 5-up. That's going to save almost everything. Is there anything else that we want to put in here? You've got Terror already, right? Pretty sure. Wait, do you not? Does the Coven Throne have Terror? No. I don't hate the concept of just giving you terror. Like, you could drop this, but I think just being able to fly around in Terror Bomb without being a dragon is still pretty solid. Okay, it's the Revenant +1 wounds. 50 points for +1 wounds is ludicrously expensive. But I think realistically it's just Dark Acolyte, so you can heal yourself for a wound every turn. That feels pretty decent. This model here is very good. I'd probably give it... you're going to use Hand Weapon Shield. You want it to stay alive. And then we've got the Necromancer, more attention. I got it Dark Magic. I'd be tempted to go Illusion or Necromancy. Necromancy is just sort of generically good. You definitely want to pick up a Spell Familiar, and I really like Scepter of Denaro, so you can heal twice. Not having a ward save is a real downside here, but the only ward save I could give you is the Stupidity ward save, and that might be too risky. So I'm going to leave it off for now, but I really want a ward save here. The problem is, because this model here also needs a ward save. We're losing one here, so we're struggling on that front. Okay, the throne should give terror. I can't recall. Okay, if it gives terror, oh, we didn't spend points on that anyway. But yeah, being an elf man, what the chances we see a high elf where are we now video? Pretty high, pretty high. I think I'm going to combine all of the elves because they have a lot of stuff between them, and I've got a lot of armies to get through. So this unit wants to be bigger. Like I want this unit to be significantly beefier, because you don't want it to be able to crumble. Shields and drills. Shields and drill are fine. It's super tanky. This is a bunker art, a unit that's just never going to fall over. Direwolves are solid. They are war beasts, right? 99% sure they're war beasts. Yeah, okay. So they're only unit strength 1. So 8, either go 5 or 10. Skeleton warriors. Charm shield for once, but you can't put a shield on the necromancer, unfortunately. Ed doing elf things one day. Probably 3 days for elves. Maybe Tuesday next week, something like that. That's the thinking anyway. They got stupid on the mortar engine and managed to lose their last 3 wounds to a dangerous terrain test. That's pretty rough. Pretty rough. Skeleton warriors. I think, so what I do here, there's a reason that people run zombies, because you don't have to put anywhere near as many points into them. So we're just going to say 3 zombies like this. So 21 points. And then we're going to bump this up to 10. So unit strength 10 fast cav is very valuable. And obviously because you can heal them, you're able to score. I'm going to give that a unit champion as well. Really nice. This unit is in theory decent, but we just don't have the points for it. And then we've got double Terrorgeist. So these are less vulnerable than they were, but they're still solid, I think. This graveyard unit is going to hang around for longer. The direwolves are going to hang around and actually score you points. And they can get objectives or destroy things at long range. The zombies can heal above their starting strength, so they can get up to 40. 40 zombies, very strong. This can double buff them, and that leaves us with 42 points left to spend. How are we going to fill that out? 42. Zombies are too expensive. Not zombies, direwolves are too expensive for that. I'd almost be tempted to put another unit of zombies in, to be frank. Like, go like this, and then drop 2 Graveguard. That feels like... This is core for a reason. Like, the zombies are really good. Skeletons do get better, but I think if you're indexing into the Graveguard, in terms of having one big unit, having the zombies to buff up is really nice as well. Yeah. Alright, cool. This looks solid to me. Are we able to fill those last 5 points? We can give this model a Charm Shield. And I think that seems pretty solid. I don't have complaints about that. So let's go at Pat. I think it is just at Pat, so... Hopefully I've tagged the right Pat. If I haven't, my apologies. That'd be unfortunate. It may need to be... Maybe the Empire Ruse showing I'm so used to bringing a unit of mostly Bear Knights as mobile obstacles. Yeah, you don't really need mobile obstacles. I guess you might do in terms of first charge, but... yeah, you can probably stand on... Like, if the Black Knights were in core, I'd be a lot more interested with them, because their cavalry and core are good at scoring. You're very welcome. Who else have we got here? Who is here? I shouldn't say that, actually, because 25 people submitted and only 15 people's lists are going to go. So I'm just going to go down. I saw Gridlock was here earlier. Hopefully still around. So the thinking on this list was new Dark Elf list. Flying out the Blackstaff and Blackguard. I'm bored with Double Dragon, even though you can still run it. Sit the Blackguard in the middle of the board with Magic Resist. I'm not suggesting Blackguard are good, but maybe there's some play in. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Says Zelaz, can I get my list looked at? Unfortunately, the list submission opens before the stream, closes before the stream as well, and I am overcapped today, where there's obviously a lot of people super hyped about the new rules. Perfect. We can go on to Voltron after you as well. Or was there someone else that I said was around? Yeah, cool. I'll double check that. I think Double Dragon is still better. Yeah, I think so, but we can have a look. So, Dreadlord, Pendant of Caliph, Obsidian, Lodestone. Great weapon. I think this is a solid build. I like this. Yeah. Still got some points spare, but you don't need to spend the points. I've been thinking about going Pendant of Caliph and the Shiluk Rond. But it's a bit of a nombo. All of that strength 5 coming into you. doesn't get the 4-up ward save. I guess it's still -1 to wound, but I think it's overkill on the dragon. Then we've got a Master BSB Banner of Hargoneth on foot spell interact, so magic resist 2, giving extra AP to the attacks and relatively tanky. Cool, that makes sense as a BSB. Is there anything else I'd give it? No, I don't think there is. I'd maybe almost be tempted to give it a Sea Dragon Cloak as protection against being sniped, but I think that's so minor that it's not worth playing around with. We will upgrade that shield to a Charm Shield for a once per game 5-up ward save, though. Always nice to have. Supreme Sorceress. Level 4, on foot, Focus Familiar, Blackstaff, Demonology. Okay, you can't take the Tome of Furion, which does suck. Blackstaff is an extra d6 when you cast. So it's basically just a perma on Power Scroll, which is cool. Focus Familiar is also cool. But we're not picking our spells. Ah, yeah, Jalib. I think I'm looking at your list. Jalib. Yes, I've got it in here. I will put you on the list of people who are here. The Lady So Tanky, I don't take her. The Lord So Tanky, I don't take the shield. Yeah, that's fair. For the dragon. Mulling over what to fill Mortuary Cult Core with now. Like Nuches and Mare. Swarms aren't super useful. How many Shabta you got? That's what I'm thinking. Not convinced about Blackstaff. I think the problem is the things that you can get are so good from the spell laws available to a Supreme Sorceress that not having at minimum 5 spells, you're really leaving some great stuff on the table. And we need to give it some ability to not die. So we're going to give it a Talisman of Protection. Hopefully keep it alive. And I think, unfortunately, we do need to drop the Blackstaff. And I'm not sure we need a Focus Familiar. Like, it's nice for positioning, but let's leave it off now. And let's put a Tome of Furion on. So that still leaves us under on points. We might come back, because there's a couple of things I would like to put on this model. And we can try and get to that later on, potentially. Not picking the law is bad. Yeah, absolutely. I think... You know what? If your goal is to stand in the middle of the board, the problem is this unit can't hold objectives, right? It's not core, so it doesn't hold objectives, and I don't know what the use of a unit that isn't a core unit is, unfortunately. But it will hold objectives. So, you know, there's that, which is cool. I think we get rid of the Tome of Furion, and we just give it Lore Familiar. Well, let's just say consistently, let's get the spells we want. And then we ask about which spells do we want. And I'm not sure it's Demonology. I think, like, Battle Magic for Oakenshield and Arcane Urgency is really good. Especially because he's still got a dragon. Illusion for the -1 to hit, and then the control spells is really good. Elementalism is just nuts. Obviously, Elves striking first is really nice. We've still just got Gimped Halberds. We haven't got the good Halberds, but it's still fine. Dark Magic I wouldn't go with. And Demonology is fine, but I think I'd want it to be mounted if I was going Demonology, because you have to have the agency to get stuff going on your turn. So I think Elementalism? I think Elementalism's fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. A non-core unit needs to be able to kill the core units and objectives or force them off. I agree, and I would rather have Cavalry for that job, which is, I think, a little bit of a shame, because I really want to run some Swordmasters, but... Speaking of, here's Cold One Knights. Full command, full plate Lancer's Shield. Let's try and keep this thing alive. So we're going to give it a couple of Obsidian Lodestones, because I think just having the magic resist would be really good here. This unit's got the combat res already. Yeah, so that puts us 36 points over. We'll have a look at playing around with that in a second. Maybe we go back down to... Yeah, for point reasons, I think we maybe just gamble. And we go... Have I not turned that off? Gosh darn it. There we go. Tome of Furion. I actually probably would want a Power Scroll as well. I know we've got a once per game reroll, so we're just going to tweak that around again. As you can see, there's still lots to think about. I'm such a hater of the Razor Standard in a unit of 20 models with guns. They just don't fire enough shots, but we can leave it. I don't want to tweak the core too much. I am going to drop them to 18 because we want to get as close to a legal list as possible, and as close as, I mean, we're going to make it legal. Swordmasters are down to 1 attack each. Swear there used to be 2. Yeah, 1 attack only. Good attacks, though. Dark Riders, I really like these. I think I would actually go 2 units of 6 if you're sort of splitting the difference on points. And I'd always give them unit champions because you're going to use them to buddy up with the Dreadlord. So you need something fast to get in there and give you, give you the actual challenge so the dragon doesn't get tied up forever. Because if it does get tied up forever, you're just not going to do anything with it. So these are both good like so, and I definitely want to have shields there as well. And we're 1 point under. Gosh, that's annoying. Oh, there we go. We'll give them both just equip the same. So now we're 11 points over. Yeah, we can drop the musician from this unit. That's completely unimportant. And then that just puts us 20 points over, which means we're probably losing a musician and an elf here. How many shooting models is considered enough to consider a Razor? I wasn't putting it on Poison Death Stars. So, I mean, I know Poison Death Stars you would have 6s to hit, but like that's a unit that has 100 or so shots, and even then I was like, yeah, I don't care enough. I'm not sold on it, to be honest. I find because it's 6s to wound, and when you're shooting you're often hitting on 5s, 4s if you're lucky. Like if you think about it, if you're hitting on 5s, you 1 in 18 shots gets the extra AP from Razor Standard. I just don't think that's worth the points. You can't wait to run your dragon into a unit of Graveguard and locked in combat in perpetuity, because their champion resurrects. Old world peak experience. No, that's what it used to be. That's what it used to be. Now it's way worse. Now you go in, you kill the champion, you lose combat, and you flee. Now you may be getting Plague of Rust, you might not need it. That's true. That's true. In fact, yeah, I'm going to executive decision take that out, because more bodies is more gooder. So let's just go 3, and I guess we'll give you the musician back just to get you over the line. I think genuinely those extra shots more valuable than the potential of 6 to wound doing some damage. On end, got Death Star. Which would you drop first, musician or champ? The low leadership for rally. Neither. I would keep them both, because if you've got a Death Star, you want all of the upgrades you can. Fair, but you've painted such a nice banner. Alright. I'm going to take the musician out. I'm going to put the standard bearer back in. And I'm going to not put the magic banner on there. I've seen... Oh, we'll just give it full command, because we need the points. Yeah, I've seen Gwillem's painting. It is lovely. It is really nice. We went to a tournament where we were running the same list. Did you win Best Painted at that tournament? I'm going to assume you did. We were just going to assume if I don't get a response. Hold on. Someone's just submitted a list in the SV666. I'm sorry, I'm definitely not getting to your list. I'm afraid it's too late to submit them for this one. I would love to be able to get through everyone's, but I cannot. Yeah, perfect. You won Best Painted, and I won the tournament. It was ideal between the two of us. We're one very accomplished person. I think honestly, you got the better half. I'm always impressed when I see some really nice painting. Cool. Keep submitting them. Please don't keep submitting them. Well, I mean, you can, but I will not be looking at them, unfortunately. Voltron Bretts. Let's have a look at your Bretonnian list. So this is a Duke on Hippogriff. I have been thinking about this, and I've been playing around with this. New match play an FQQ in play for an RTT Sunday. Owl. Oh, Old World League, yeah. Want to keep Hippo, willing to take up Trev for other models. Yeah, this is good. You know why Hippogriffs are really good? Because look at the initiative of a Duke. Initiative 5. Look at the initiative of a Hippogriff. Initiative 5. What does it bring? It brings 4 attacks. 3 of them you get to make with a good weapon. 1 of them with a serrated maw, which, remember that multiple wounds does nothing into champions, unless it's a champion with more than 1 wound, but overkill with multiple wounds only counts for characters. That's specifically on the character rules, which is something I did not know for quite a while. But I also wasn't running Ogre Blade on my dragon, so I wasn't cheating. I was just being cheated against. But yeah, no, I really like this. It is a relatively tough monster, so you can run it solo. It has got... it doesn't have impact hits, but it has all of its attacks at the same initiative. It has Fly 9, it has Swift Stride, Terror, Countercharge, which is huge. It's got Barding, so you've still got a 3-up save. You've gone for the ward save here with the Gilded Cuirass. Gauntlet of the Jewel's nice as well. And then also you've got Mantle of Damsel Eleanor, which I've forgotten what it does. Immune to poison. I wouldn't bother. Poison, I think, is dead. You're welcome, Gwillem. I do have a good soft spot in my heart for the joys of Dark Elves, and I might have to get around to playing them again. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else you need to put on this model. Is there anything else you need to put in this model? Paymaster's Coin? No. What have you gone for? Virtue of Heroism Lance? Yeah, that's super fine. That just feels pretty solid. I think you can just shave those 25 points and not feel like you need to put anything on. I guess Paymaster's Coin is good because it means that you're more likely to get the hits, so you're more likely to get the killing blow. You can really threaten those dragons. I think I like that more. Hippogriff pulled from a seemingly bottomless bag of Brett good units. A couple of people were looking at the Hippogriff before the changes. I don't think it was better enough, but I think it wasn't awful. Lady Elise is nuts. She's got a great rule here where she gives +1 to Dispel. She dispels on every natural double, and the casting wizard loses a wound if she dispels on a double, so apart from double one. Really, really good stuff there. Boosts the amount of time she dispels pretty significantly. Other than that, just generally good stuff. Or of the Lady giving magical attacks to the unit. Magic Resist 2, great unit there. And you've got joining a unit of Knights of the Realm, I'm guessing here, which has no upgrades. That might need to be changed. Paladin, BSB, Warbanner, Lance, Heavy Armor, Shield, Grail Vow, Warhorse. Virtue of the Joust, rerolling wounds with Lancers. I mean, you've only got... you've got 3 attacks. I don't think you need it. You're strength 6, so the things you're going to go into, you should be wounding on 2s anyway. That's a very expensive 20 points. I would be more tempted to go... I mean, rerolling it, yeah, you still don't even need that. This is funny, giving you extra range, but also impetuous. You probably don't go for it, but it is an interesting concept. Do we want to give this model anything? I don't think we need to, realistically. That's super fine. The Damsels for Illusion, just casting the Glittering Robes, I think is really nice. I'm super tempted. We've shaved some points. Let's just put a power scroll on each of these wizards, because there's going to be a time where you go, having -1 to hit is going to be make or break in this combat, and I think you're going to be really happy to actually get the spell off instead of having it dispelled, or just not making it at all. All good stuff there. Magic Resist 2 into all of these units is really nice as well. Just really solid. Oh, of course, Lady Elise will join the Grail Knights. Is there an official Brett Hippo, one of the new sculpts? I don't think there is, you know. I think there's an old one that got repurposed into an Empire one. Peasant Bowman, 16. That's a good scoring unit. Honestly, that's a good scoring unit. That's just annoying. I don't have to shoot that, but I do have to if you want to hold your home objective. These Knights of the Realm are really nice as well. Grey Weapon Shields. I'd be tempted to... You've given them Magic Resist from the Damsel. You've given them -1 to be hit already. I guess there's not really anything that you could go. You're not going to get into combat with anyone. Yeah, okay, sure. This is good stuff. What I will say is... We're going to put the War Banner here instead of having it on the Paladin. It's just generally better not to have your upgraded banners on the characters if you can avoid it. Having them on the unit here is better. No new hippo. No new hippo indeed. Mounted Yeoman. What are the Mounted Yeoman for? What are the... Voltron, what are the Mounted Yeoman for? They can't score anything. I don't see their value in this list. But I could be wrong. I could be missing something. Like, there's nothing in here that... I guess you could give Elise reserve move. Get objective in enemy deployment. They have open order. It's not about open order or close order, unless your mission pack is specific. It's that objectives, in the match playbook anyway, you only score them if you are core and unit strength 10. Unless Old World League is doing something different, this won't be able to score anything. Trebuchet, Ground Knights. The Trebuchet's fine, and into this meta, we're potentially going to get more value out of it. I don't love it, but I don't hate seeing it. What I do hate seeing is no Pegasus Knights in this list. And I respect it, but I think it is, even with the very slight love tap they got, I think Pegasus Knights would make this list a lot better. Just need a banner and not skirmish or fly. Alright, cool. Keep them then. That's fair. Yeah. We can put some pegs in there. I mean, you just remove this list, and then the problem is that you then want a character to go with the pegs, so it's basically a completely different list. We would have to drop probably Elise. Like, we'd have to find 350 points for a Baron who's going to go with Ogre Blade. Then we'd go with the, you know, the standard unit of 4 Pegasus Knights as well. So you'd be completely reworking a lot of the list if you wanted to go down that line. If you want to play with Ground Knights, which I'm not opposed to, I don't think they're as good as, you know, potentially just running with other things. Screw it. You know what? I think you should play Ground Knights. I think you should test the Ground Knights, because people have been saying that they're theoretically going to be a lot better. There's a lot of targets that they're going to be better into. They hit very hard. They are strength 6. They have 2 attacks each. If you bunker them with Elise, she can do a lot to keep them safe. Yeah, give it a go. Give it a go. I want to see how this goes. I think Pegasus Knights would be better, but I'm also just super okay with seeing, you know, I think this is solid. Turning off standard shoot is smart. Yeah, cool. All right, we just need to shave 17 points to make this this work without completely reworking it. I think the answer might just be we drop a single Knight of the Realm on foot, and then we drop... Oh, you have to have a Standard Bearer for scoring, don't you? I guess we drop the Musician on the Knights of the Realm. Maybe the Foot Knights. It does hurt to lose a Musician here. Ground Knights don't have a Musician, do they? Oh, you've got the Champion because you've given them extra attacks and rerolls. Yeah, I think this is a good version of it. Yeah, I think we've tweaked the theme pretty well here. Can drop 2 Broman. They have 5 points. That is true. Yeah, let's put the Musician back here, and let's go -1. Yeah, I think that's better. That works well here. I think this would be better with Peg Knights, but that's just Bretonnia as a faction, right? And I think it's definitely worth testing around, seeing what the Ground Knights do, because people rave about them. I'm unconvinced, but they do just have the output there if you can get them where they need to be. And they've got all of the good rules that you need. They've got counter charge, they've got first charge. They're living saints after all, don't you know? Cool. Alright, sweet. And I think there was someone else's name that I saw pop up in chat. Oh yes, there was. It wasn't their name, so they had to tell me who they were. Jaleb, Warriors of Chaos. How does this fix the list if you end without Royal Peg or Peg Knights? You sarky bastard. But yes, no. I mean, I talked about how you probably want those things. I think this is interesting. I'm interested to see how these do. If you want to improve it, you probably just drop, like, find points for a 350-point Baron. Drop this for Pegasus Knights. But yeah, I want to see how this goes. So do let me know how you get on if you do play it on Sunday. Okie dokie. Let's have a look here at Jaleb's Warriors of Chaos. Trying to combine known quantity of the Night Bus with some extra capacity to bump and grind with infantry in anticipation of it becoming more relevant. 1. So, yeah, there we go. You've got your #1 supporter in chat, Voltron, saying Ground Knights, Ground Knights, Ground Knights. They're cool. I want to see them do work, so I'm curious. Curious as to how Foot Warriors Auras would play. Yeah, Marcus Lanesh Strike's last Aura character. That's like the thing that everyone was talking about when the game came out, and then we went, oh, infantry ain't so good. Okay, so what are we working with here? We've got a Chaos Lord who is Shield, Marker Nurgle, Chaos Steed, Ogre Blade, Double Favor of the Gods, Extra Arm. Extra Arm is expensive. You seem to have points for it, though. Okay. Okay, we'll leave it for now. It is, what, 40 points for +1 attack, but Yeah, sure. We'll leave it now. We'll see. Sorcerer Lord, level 4, Undivided. Okay. Demonology, Dark Gods, Spell Familiar. Okay, so Dark Gods means that you get to pick all of the signature spells, so you can go Blastocaster if needs be, or you can pick the Nurgle spell, or you can go both. Enchanting Aura for strikes last. Sure, this feels fine. Then we've got Lance, Heavy Armor Shield, Mark of Chaos, the Regen, the Magic Resist, Favor of the Gods. Yeah, this is a good model. You know what? I think let's put Enchanting Aura on this instead of the Wizard, because the Wizard, given that it has Tome of the Dark Gods, has the flex slot, and you could theoretically run it with some Marauders. Now, we've got the Lance here, so we've got the Brazen Collar of Chaos Knight's Rampaging Banner for rerolls to charge. I think this is a really solid banner. We're going to see it more and more, I think. Lances, Shields, Undivided, great unit, love that. Then we've got 5 Knights, Mark of Khorne, that are just going to hit real hard. We can drop the Musician off them. That's not necessary at all, because they're frenzied, so what do we care, you know? Either you win big or you don't win. These Warhounds, I want to see them go to either a 5 or a 10 for unit strength. I think, as it stands, let's go 5. And let's also add in some Marauder Horsemen with a unit champion, a musician, Cav Spears, Mark of... You don't need Marcus Inch. Oh, you don't need Marcus Inch. I still think having this unit is solid. Give them shields as well, I'd say. Something like this is just a good fast scoring unit, and also can bunker the Sorcerer Lord if you want to go caster heavy instead of going... you know, if you want to swap in and get the Demonology summoning and you want to get Blue Fire as Inch, you can use it as a plus damage spell if you don't need it to turbocharge the Chaos Knights. Or if you don't roll the Demonic Vessel, you know, that gives you extra flex options. Let's go up to 7, just gives you a little bit more flexibility there. Exalted can't take it, it's on a Manticore. Aura. Is it? Oh! Oh, I missed that! Okay, my bad. My bad. My bad indeed. Manticore, eh? That's fine. It is a lot of wounds. It's 7 wounds, but it's only T4, and that really bothers me. I know you've got triple save, so maybe it's okay. I'd be tempted to give it. I know you don't have the points for it, but I'd be tempted to go like BSB Warbanner or something like that if you were going for a Killy champion, just to give it more combat res, and then it's harder for it to get stuck in combat. But having it fly around with the Chaos Lord... Oh no, the Chaos Lord's not on Dragon. Interesting. Interesting. Manticore's only T4. Exalted Champion's only T4. Oh! No, that's a Chaos Lord. Exalted Champion's only T4. There we go. I thought I was talking about my backside there. Yeah, that's interesting. I would maybe even be tempted to go Great Weapon on this model instead of a Lance. Yeah, no, if you don't kill them on the first round, you're probably losing to combat res, so this is fine. This is fine. Gigantic Spawn, Mark and Nurgle is solid. I'd like 2 of them, but it's fine. I would just go... I know Halberd's got better, but... So, if you look at the Dragon Ogre stat line, it's only got Initiative 2. Halberds, sure, they're great. You Strength +1, AP -2 on the charge. Just go Great Weapons. You're only, you know, it's an extra point per model. There's a restriction on the Doom Token. Doom Totem, like... Doom Totem. Not sure what you're saying. It does have the thing where both rider monsters have the same initiative. But you know what? I did not notice that. If that's true, I'm way more hyped on it. Good spot, sir. Good spot. They are both initiative 5. Okay. If you roll plus initiative, you're going to be fuming. You're going to be absolutely fuming. In fact, I'd almost be tempted to go more Favors of the Gods. How about we go like this? We just, like, make the most... Oh, you're 10 points over. That's why. That's why. Maybe we drop the extra arm. Do we drop the extra arm? Like, it's costing us a lot here, and I don't know that it's worth the extra points. And it gives us points here to probably give this just an extra Favour of the God. Going for 3. 3 is usually a good number. I don't know that you need anything else. Yeah, that's fine. That doesn't need a mark. It has to be undivided. So then we're just 65 points over, which is 4. I think 4 is too unwieldy, genuinely. Like, because they don't score. If they were a scoring unit, 4 would be amazing. But I think 3 just feels like the right amount of maneuverability around. And as you see, I massively put you 65 points over, so removing a 66-point model gets you there. There's no arm in removing it. Very good, Hail Hydra. Very good. Very punny. But yeah, so this is, like, we lose a Dragon Ogre. We've still got the Spawn. We've still got the Chaos Knights. We've still got the Khorne Chaos Knights. Warhounds have just dropped to, because they're unit strength 1 anyway, so there's no point going bigger on them. And then the Marauder Horsemen, this gives you a fast scoring unit that's really valuable. Because you can put them in marching column or you can have them in skirmish, this is just going to be really good value scoring, I think. Alright, we'll go with that. I think that works pretty well. I'm going to have to look at the Manticore a little bit more, I think. The fact it has the same initiative is interesting. I think it only has 3 attacks though, right? Let's have a look here. 4 attacks. Oh, and you don't have to have the Venomous Tail. That's not awful. That isn't awful. Yeah, I can live with that. I think that's pretty interesting. Alrighty then. Alrighty. Let's have a look at some Expeditionary Force Dwarves. That's a fun one. There were no notes given with this one. So we've got Burlock Damison, we've got an Engineer, we've got a Runesmith, Great Weapon, Full Plate Shield, 2 runes of Spellbreaking. 2 feels good. I think you could drop to 1 comfortably, but having a second one is nice redundancy. We've got a Thane that's got the Rune of Accuracy, Rune of Bursting Flame, Rune of Rapid Fire. So this is your standard gun Thane with a handgun. Then we've always got the second Thane as well. That's the BSB Master Rune of Grugni with Shield, Accuracy, Piercing, Rune of Rapid Fire. I don't know that this is super worth running. It's a lot of points that you're putting in. So you've got a Strength 5 Bolt Thrower, and that's in theory decent, I guess. Because you're always hitting on 3s, and if you hit, you then go, assuming you're shooting into infantry, hitting on 5s, 4s, 3s. I'd be more tempted, honestly, just to go drop all of that, give it a Shield Bearer so your BSB doesn't die. This is incredibly important. Change it to a Great Weapon, and then give it... What runes do we need to give it? Probably, like, Grommel's good. You haven't got a King, have you? Yeah, I've got a King. I think the Rune of Grommel just makes a lot more sense for this style. Like, yes, you lose out on having a good gun in your unit, but it's a model that can actually soak a charge, do a little bit of damage if you get there. Speaking of, I think Rune of Battle as well is really nice to have on it. Maybe it doesn't go in the unit, actually. Maybe this has been played entirely differently to how I'm expecting it to be used. Because it's an aura, right? The Rune of Grugni. Where you go in 1 unit. I still think I like this more. But I can see why you might not go with... Yeah. Rune of Preservation to avoid killing blow and multiple wounds. I think that might... Like, that's a good shout. I think it might be sinking too many points into the model. Venomous Tail, new rule. If you poison jab someone in the eyes, that champion dead, so no more challenge score. Correct. Yeah, those strikes first attacks are actually really bad for you. Hey, Anubis. Long time no see. How you doing? Long time no see. In terms of the special, I like it, but your list is ever so slightly illegal because you've got the same loadout here twice. So you've got reloading, forging, stalwart, and then 2 reloading and forging. So, I guess we just drop reloading from one of them, and jobs are good. Now that's a legal cannon loadout for all of them. Obviously, the organ guns don't need to have runes because they can't. Oh, the reason for that is you can't have the same rune loadout on anyone. And, yeah, not too bad, mate. Obviously been very busy with how things have been recently. I think I like these units here. Expeditionary Marksman means that you're taking much less penalties to shoot with the Thunderers, but I think we just drop 2 Thunderers from each squad, and then we've got 8 points. What do we put those 8 points into? Honestly, this thing, just giving it the Rune of the Furnace is really nice. Giving it a 3-up ward save against shooting attacks is a pretty solid place to start. Just for 5 points, you can't go wrong with it, so we will... put that one in, call that done. I think that is a good set of tweaks to the list. But if you want to change the thing back, do feel free. Tomorrow and Sunday boot camp for Team Germany. Yeah, absolutely. Tomorrow we're doing an England practice day. Bit late was hyper-focused painting more Chaos Knights. Hell yeah. The stream is going well, thank you very much. And we haven't got to your list yet, so we can look at that next. I don't think there was anyone else in the queue waiting. So we can look at Sheepman's list. Sort of a weird way to say Sheepman. Try to pull that one up here. There we go. So, I see Brewston in chat as well. We can look at yours after that one. That seems like a good place to go to. So, if we go here with Heralds of Darkness. A huge fan of the fact that you've got Heralds of Darkness. With this FAQ, this is my new thinking on the Heralds of Darkness list. Drop the Sorcerer, as I don't feel I need it with the changes to Wizard. I'm not sure about that, but I'm very pleased to play around with it. Countercharge across the board, but it accepts Spawn and lots of MR2. Let me know what you think. Also, in a bit of... And then it cuts out. Maybe I didn't copy and paste the full thing. Or maybe there's a cap on how many words I can put in. So, you've gone for a Chaos Lord with the Talisman of the Carrion Crow, Brazen Collar, Favour of the Gods, Mark of Nurgle. Yeah, so here's something that's important that I didn't sort of really think about until recently, but I think is correct. If you put a Mark of Chaos on your Lord, I think you have to have the same mark on your Chariot. The reason for that is... Let's see if I can find the mark. There we go. So, a model cannot have more than one Mark of Chaos. It must have the same Mark of Chaos. If you don't have Mark of Nurgle, you have Mark of Chaos Undivided. So if you have a Chariot, but you don't have the mark on it, then that's not a legal loadout. I hope I haven't seen any Chariots yet. I think I have, actually. I might have to go back off stream and tweak that if I remember to. Did you have any Chariots here? No? Okay, I think that was the only... Warriors of Chaos. So I think we're okay so far. But yeah, so doubling up on the Mark of Nurgle feels painful to do so, but I think it's what you legally have to do. It's in the FAQ. Oh, I didn't even realise. I must have missed that one. Must have missed that one. Exalted Champion. BSB, so you've gone Flail and Flail with both of them. Makes a lot of sense with the countercharge. Mark of Chaos, Mark of Nurgle. Chosen Chariot with a 3-up save. Crown of Everlasting Conquest. Yeah, this is beefy. Double magic resist... and double regen and just real hitty champ. I want to play something like this at a tournament. This feels like it would be a lot of fun. Then you've gone Undivided Knights. Okay. This is fine. I might be tempted to go a bit beefier, like combine the units up just a little bit. Chariot, Mark of Nurgle, Gigantic, Spawn of Chaos. I think you could save points here. I don't know how important Mark of Nurgle is. What I'd be tempted to do is drop the Standard Bearer on one of these, go Mark of Khorne, leave it at 5. Have one that's just there to, you pointed at something, you try and kill it. It's 181 points, so you can play around with it because you've got countercharge as well. I think that's pretty solid. Why no Khorne marks on the Knights? Normally you don't want to mark up your Knights because Undivided is really strong. I don't particularly value Mark of Nurgle on units. I think you could probably drop it. I think Undivided's really good. They're not super worried about suffering from panic, though, realistically. And they've got great leadership. This, I would probably go... let's drop this unit here, for example. And then we go like so. And honestly, let's go 7, 7, and 5. So you've got 2 units of 7, which is just a little bit beefier, so they'll hold their ability to score for a little bit longer. And then we're going to go a unit of 10 Warhounds, which will give it Vanguard, and... we don't need to give it anything else. This is going to score your home objective, or you're going to fire it off to try and score something that's not super close by. I think that's going to be really valuable. Can't take Khorne without Hero of Khorne. Oh, for God's sakes. Yeah, I forgot about that. God damn it. God damn it. Good shout. Good shout. I forgot the entire issue with Heralds. Okay. I still think we go, instead of 5-5-5-5, I think 7-7-5, which leaves you one less model, but then a unit of 10 Warhounds. This gives you more scoring. This could also be Marauder Horsemen, actually. What do we think? 65 points. I think I like them. No, I think I like the Warhounds. I think they're super solid. Even as a 10. You probably put them in marching column and just sort of run them around like so. But, yeah, really cheap. Heralds of Oof. Yep, Heralds of Oof. Other than that, yeah, that explains why the Chosen Chariots have got Mark and Nurgle. Good stuff there. They have to be undivided. Cool. That does leave us with 15 points. I'd quite like to... What do we want to... No, we're not dropping Heralds. Heralds has countercharging Chosen Chariots, which is incredible. Definitely worth playing around with. Okay. I don't really want to add anything else. It would be funny to add... Like, I don't feel like there's much here that I really want to add to this list. We could tweak here, but you can't... I guess maybe the thing to do is just go 2 more models, and then you can take a couple of wounds, and you can still have scoring as a unit strength 10 unit. The problem is because they're war beasts, they're only unit strength 1. Let's look at this viewers to like ratio. Let's bump that number up for any order. Appreciate you, Strife. I haven't done any of my YouTuber responsibilities. If you're here and you're watching, clap your hands and or like the stream. Appreciate that. Helps me get picked up by the algorithm, seen by more people. Obviously doing quite well tonight, as expected, because there's new rules that are out, all that good stuff. If you want to support the channel, you do not have to at all become a member, but if you want to become a member, you absolutely can. There is a VIP section on Discord. Everything else is open to everyone, so do join Discord. It's like 800 of us now. VIP section is for Longbeards and above. And yeah, also I do coaching, which is linked down in the Patreon link below. There we go. I think I have done all of my stuff there. Okie dokie. And who's this list for again? Sheepman. Cool. Likes the Algo God. Hell yeah. Looking at getting some hounds if I think I have time to get them done. Oh, okay. If you don't have hounds, do you have any Marauder Horsemen? Because you could super just swap this unit for, like, equivalent points in Marauder Horsemen. 6 Marauder Horsemen with shields. Shields like armor. Cavalry spears. And... probably wouldn't give them anything else. Unit champion musician, so you can use them to get in and protect these characters from challenges. Even though you've got the impact hits, protecting them from challenges is still really nice. So that's like an easy swap to make if you do not have the actual models here, but you've got Marauder Horsemen. Cool. Alright, was there anyone else? You clapped, but I doubt you heard it. There we go. Why haven't you told us that only 14.3% of us have subscribed? I don't know where to find that information. You do hear people saying that. I think probably most of the people who watch this stream will be subscribed. I've got a really good ratio of returning to new viewers. It seems like, you know, most of them are returning, but there's still a healthy influx of new viewers. So, yeah, it's not something that I think the channel has an issue with. Okay. Well, you could go back to the core. I don't actually hate the 5-5-5-5. I think I like the 7s more, because that way you've got some beef so that you don't just immediately fall over if you lose one model for scoring. But, yeah, it is what it is. I don't have time, I'm afraid. There's already 10 people whose lists I haven't been able to get to, so I can't do any more lists. Okay, so let's have a quick look at Broston's list. This was 2,500 points of Dwarf Grand Army. Tournament has a hard cap of 40% on characters. Other than that, how do you think this does, or what would you change with the new FAQ and match play rules? Okay, let's have a look. So we've got a Lord, Great Weapon, Full Plate, Shield Bearers, Preservation, Smiting Fury. That's the standard one, right? Preservation... So Preservation's turning off Killing Blow and Multi-Wounds. Yep, that's good. Fury, Smiting. Is it normally Fury, or is it normally... It's normally Gromil, right? Oh, you have to be Royal Host to get Gromil. Okay. Sure, that makes sense. So we've just got a 4-up armor save here. That feels fine, honestly. And then we've stacked it with a Thane, who is a BSB on foot, Gromil, Rune of Fury... Grugni Battle Courage. Yep, that's a solid loadout. I would like shield bearers here, but it's hard to squeeze the points in. Rune Lord, Calm, Spellbreaking, Fury. I don't think you need the Fury. Like, how many attacks does Rune Lord have? 3. Gets you up to 5. That's pretty interesting. Get that. That is interesting. Master Rune of Calm. Bound Spell. Yeah, this is a really good spell, I think. So, because it's not remains in play, it's going to be really difficult for opponents to deal with it, I think. Oh, thank you very much. That's super kind of you, Yoshimo. Broston, Byzantine Baron, Old Soup, Tiggity Figgity, and Skulls all receive a close order membership. Very generous there of you. Appreciate that. Okay. Let's have a look here. So, Spellbreaking, just one of those is fine. And then Calm, Fury. Okay, sure. And then we've got the Thane. This has got to be the Bursting Flame rune with Rune of the Furnace. Yeah, so all of your characters make perfect sense to me. I'd like to get a better save here, but I don't think you can in Grand Army. You could maybe shave some points here with Rune of Fury, but 5 attacks on that guy's kind of funny, so, you know, I'm here for it. Then you've got a big unit of Longbeards, big unit of Rangers. The Rangers are Rune of Courage. Yes, they don't flee. That's really important. Having chased over 1,000 points of Dwarves off the board with a Dragon before. Longbeards. Rune of Passage. Yeah, that's nice to have. Master Rune of Hesitation. So you've got... yeah, Hesitation's really nice. Hesitation turns off the initiative bonus. Oh, no, sorry, it's the other one. You don't get weapons or special rules. A little bit of downside of this one, I guess. Would you count as charging in terms of would you get to fight with the second rank? I'm not sure. I actually think you wouldn't get to fight with 2 ranks. I think you still count as charging for that, but hard to say. But yeah, Longbeards with great weapons, shields, drilled, all of the rules in there. Super solid. Magic resist, you've got it with the Rune Lord as well. Yeah, I think that's really good. Hammerers. Okay, Hammerers is interesting. Confusion, Rune of Battle, Rune of Courage. I don't know that you need the Hammerers. I'd probably just go more core, honestly. And then you've got Growth Thrower, Copter, Dwarf Cart. I like all of that. I think I'd just drop the Hammers and go more Longbeards, honestly. The note at the bottom says the unit counts as having been charged. Yeah, so the unit... Right, so if I go back on it, let's have a look here. Where's it gone? Hesitation. So it says here that this unit has been charged, but it doesn't say that the unit itself does count as charging. I think it still does, because it specifically doesn't charge for the purpose of choosing which weapon to use or any special rules it may have. So, yeah. Good point. If new members want to join the server league, we are gearing up for the July pairings. Yeah, that's true. The Open Order Summer Sesh, which is not run by me, but it is run by a couple of members, and it is a drop-in, drop-out 3-month league. Good place to test out the new rules. Do ping me a new need roll if you have been gifted a subscription, and I will apply that after the stream. Yeah, I think, genuinely, I'm just saying, we drop these hammers. They're super cool. They're not core. Let's just do this again. Let's just go more Longbeards. I actually think that's better, because you can just do the same stuff. So here you went Confusion, right? So the initiative bonus. I understand that you don't get all of the bonuses that the you get on the other one. So maybe that's not as good. So we probably actually don't go Confusion. You probably just go Rune of Battle, and you tank the charge, and you take more models or something like that. Here we've got Hesitation, so we can't go Battle. Here we've got just Battle. If you just really like Hammers, I don't think it's wrong to take them. Oh, no! Oh, you can't take a second unit of Longbeards. It's 0 to 1 per core. Forgot about that. Bugger. Rangers are 0 to 1. Yeah, okay. Never mind. Never mind. We're going back to Hammers. We're going back to Hammers. Oops. That's the problem with this. Hesitation, Battle. And then here it was Passage, right? And then we're going to go Shields, Drilled, Veterans. I think it was about this. Back it up. Royal Clans for the win. Yeah, Royal Clans would have been good there. It would have to be warriors. I don't think I love the warriors. Like, maybe the warriors do it, but I think you want some more punch. So what have we tweaked here? Have I tweaked anything? This is the same. 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 This has changed, but only because I'm a Muppet. These are the same. This is the same. This is the same. This is the same. I'm not going to relink the list because I'm not actually going to tweak anything. I think along what you've gone for in Grand Army, this feels pretty great. What I might be tempted to do is go into Royal Host and then go multiple units of Royal Clan. But that would obviously rebuild it entirely. I think what you've gone for kind of feels good. The other thing you could do is drop the hammers and go for more ranged output, like some Iron Drakes and maybe some more artillery. Like, I'm not sure what artillery I'd want to go for, but you've got a lot of points to fill it in. Do Royal Clan Warriors have Grommel armor? Big if so. I think they have armor and weapons, if I remember correctly. Royal Clan Warriors. Yeah, armor and weapons. The downside is they're only strength 3, so they really have to lean on their special rule to get it, and they can't have great axes and also the shields, but that is solid. I think, can you just have Longbeards in core overall? If you can just have uncapped Longbeards, you probably just do like 2 units of Longbeards in Royal Clan, and you do the same thing that you're trying to do. But yeah, that's a really easy swap to go over. I'm not going to rebuild the whole list, but I'd say either go with what you've got, which is already pretty good, or you tweak it by going over to Royal Host and just go multiple units of Longbeards. That feels pretty decent. Cool. All right. And Royal Hosts and Royal Clans, I run 2 Longbeards usually. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense to me. I think the Longbeards are really good. Okie dokie. Well, so Peter's Dark Elf Renegades. You're very welcome, Brewston. Still all over the place now with the rejigging after the FAQ, FAW. Trying to make use of the collection for the most part will consider swaps. Oh no! It's Witch Elves in core. We hates it, the precious. We hates it. Okay. No choppers in RC though. That's true. That is true. So you lose a little bit of the score. They're not even scoring units because they're solo unit strength, so I guess it doesn't actually hurt the list much. Alright. Executioners, I don't think need the Banner of Harganeth. Let's just drop that for a second. Like, it can go back on, but you've already got AP2. Oh, no, you don't, do you? There are the AP1. Yeah, okay. You do need the Banner of Harganeth. That's so sad. They're just worse Sword Masters. They're only Initiative 5. They become Initiative 6 when they're charged. Yeah, this is fine. Unit of Cold One Knights with the Cold One Banner. Remember, you have to use this before you test, but you do just use it on a key turn. I don't hate that at all. I would like some magic resist here. That is like the obvious thing that I'd like to fit in. Yeah, so let's just go a pair of Obsidian Lodestones to start off with. It's expensive, but I think it's worthwhile. Sorceress on a Dragon, Pentadecaleth, Demonology. 500 points. It's hard to argue with, honestly. Actually, no, I'm going to argue. I'm going to say level 3 Wizard. Let's go Lore Familiar. You can only cast 3 spells, but you'll know all of the ones you want. I think that's way better. That makes way more sense to me. Yeah, that's good. Death Hag. 2 hand weapons on foot. Cry of War. Executioner's Axe. Cry of War? That's not even the... Yeah, you'd want Rune of Cain, surely, if you're going for the Executioner's Axe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the Witch Elves in, but I don't think that they are worth playing. Like, maybe they've got a little bit more punch here, but I feel like they're going to fall over so easily. They're naked T3 elves. It's just not... Like, I don't understand how they stay alive, honestly. But if you're doing it, make sure you take your Rune of Cain. They get Strength 6. That is no small thing. What was I talking about that got Strength 6? The Death Hag? Not the Witch Elves. The Executioners. Okay, they do have better strength. Okay, that is fair. That is fair. I was so blinded by my disappointment that I missed that the Executioners get Strength 6, which is fair. No, Keith, that is exactly what I was on about. I just moved on a little bit by the time I'd read that comment. Beastmaster, Cav Spear, Light Armor, Shield, Sea Dragon, Cloak, Manticore, Armor of Beach Arachine. Okay. So I guess you're going to use the Manticore's armor save combined with the Sea Dragon cloak and the shield. That doesn't work. You can't improve the Meteoric Iron save, so we can shave some points here. Talisman Protection is solid on this. Manticore, I think the Beastmaster has a disgustingly high initiative. 5. What about the Manticore? 5. Okay. I mean, the Beastmaster doesn't really do much. I need to have a look at that again for Dark Elves. Maybe there's some play here. It's just a shame the Beastmaster can't be your BSB. That is a shame. Okay, so we've got the Dragon, we've got the Beastmaster, we've got the Death Hag. This is where I'd be cutting points. Dark Riders, 8, Herald Musician, Shield, Fire and Flee. Yeah, this is really nice. In fact, if you could go like 2 units of 5, just having them buddy up with these so they can soak challenges would be really nice. But with what you've got, cutting 18 points is going to be really difficult here. How do we do that? We keep the Cav Spear. That just makes sense. I'd like to give this thing a weapon, actually. I know we'll have to cut more points, but 3 attacks, weapon skill 7, strength 4. Like, it's worth just giving it a Sword of Might, I think. I know we then do lose, you know, have to put more points in. But I think that's absolutely fine. I think that's super reasonable to do. 36. We're still 2 points over. 14 of them. And drop the Musician, maybe? Drop the Musician for the Cold One Knights. I think it's less important for the Cold One Knights. Or do the Executioners have drilled? The Executioners have drilled, it's less important for them. Yeah, something like this, I think, would be super reasonable. Nowhere near enough stupidity in this army, it needs more Cold Ones. Yeah, that's true. Does Fire and Flee make much sense without Feigned Flight? Yeah, I'd say so. It's a good rule to have. Feigned Flight makes it a lot better, but just having it in general is really nice, because a lot of the time you can just sort of play around the maximum charge range, and because you Fire and Flee and then you also get to Swift Stride, you can still get a pretty decent distance away from your opponent, so a lot of flexibility there. Link to the party, which army builder app, if any, has been updated? Old World Builder had been updated, I think, within 12 hours, which is very impressive. Big shout out to them. I don't know if anyone else has been updated, but they were really on the ball, so big shout out to Old World Builder. I think this was the right Peter. There we go, like so. Cool, 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 cool. Alrighty then. What else are we working with? So, is there anyone in chat who's... Did I see any names? No, I think we're good here. Liam, we haven't had much Cathay. Let's have a look at Cathay. And this is new Cathay. Ogre Blade was still 75. Ah, that's a shame. Old World Builder has a few quirks when you select Combined Arms for list building right now. Okay, that's fair. I appreciate that he got it out, even if it's not perfect. Getting in there first with the Cathay list, roughly plan to use 2 battalions, wanting a core of warriors over Cav, but happy to try and increase unit size, maybe the bombs on the war machines. Okay, let's have a look at what Liam Jordan of Goonhammer fame, and also the podcast whose name has just immediately gone out of my mind when I said that. That's really bad. I can only apologise. Let me just pull that one up. I'm now just sat wasting time, but I feel really rude that I forgot the name of the podcast that Liam has alongside with Jack and others. I'm sure I had it in the Beastman. Rallying Cry. There we go. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, Ed. The fixing goes well. It's fun. There's a lot of, like, variety. Instead of just the sort of, like, well, you've got your Bretonnian list. Let's just make 2 small tweaks and you can run the same list as everyone else. There's a lot of really wild stuff out there, which is super cool. Love that. Love the wild, because that's what I've been doing. So, gone for a Sentinel. Liam has gone for a Sentinel. Granite Sentinel. That's interesting. This is the one that's immune to multiple wounds, right? It's fine. I guess if you're taking one, that feels like a good one to go for. Poor Witch Elves, yeah, poor Witch Elves. It is not their edition or game. Got a level 3 Shigengan Lord Wizard. We are Illusion still. Blade of the Great Fleet. Learned Fang Shibo Earthing Rod. I think, and I understand that you lose a lot by taking the Feng Shi Bow. You can't take the you can't take the signature spells, which are really good. They are really good. I think you just have to go Lore Familiar. You've only got 3 spells. Like, you're going for a Spectral Doppelganger caster. I think you've just got to, you know, bite the bullet, go Lore Familiar here. Or, if you're not doing that, find the points to go level 4, so you've got a 5th spell. But I think this is probably better. I know Lure Ovian's really good, so make tweaks back if you do wish so. Cauldron can help in Renegades as it has magic resist 1 and ward save for the unit. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I'd forgotten that you can attach. That is pretty cool. And then we got a Lord Magistrate, who is on a Sky Lantern, fully upgraded, Crystal Kunlan, Alchemist Mask, bombs. Yeah. This is a 1 balloon list, and I respect that from you. It's probably got something to do with the fact that they're 95 points, but I also understand that you're not the sort of person who'd want to spam them out, which is fair. More fun for everyone. Cool. I like the characters. Gonna tweak it for consistency, but other than that, it's good. Ooh, so we've got Icon of Heavenly Fury, who I have forgotten off the top of my head. That's the turn off fly for 1 turn, right? I don't hate it. It is expensive for what it does, but I don't hate it. Hand weapon shields, drilled. It's a shame you can't have shields and halberds. Full command here. I'd like some magic resist on these. I'm not sure if magic resist 1 is super worthwhile, though. A second unit is fine, and then we've got this unit here. Drilled as well. So here, here's the trick. You give them ambush, and then they come on and they destroy your opponent's cabbage cart from reserve on turn 2 onwards, because you've got the balloon to do that as well. So here, I think we can probably just go... I'd probably be tempted to go something like 1 unit of 14, and then 1 slightly more beefy unit that you lean more heavily into. It doesn't make much difference, but I think it's just worth doing. Also, sorry, I've put this on the wrong one. Let's give this unit the magic standard, because you can't use it in combat, as far as I remember. And I'm not pulling up the PDF to check. Double cannon, fire rain battery, and a sentinel. I think this is good. I think from what I know of you, in terms of how I think you want to approach this, like you say, you've got a list that's mostly built around a couple of boxes, although to be fair, you could go for 1 box. I guess, actually, you'd run out of warriors. That's the big thing. But, yeah, you haven't spammed the artillery, you haven't spammed anything else, you've gone for kind of 1 of each box outside of it. I think this is cool, John. Liam. I think it's a fun take on the list. But I definitely would go with the character that's got the Lore Familiar. Make sure you get that spell off. Or find some points to make it a level 4 and give it a spell familiar. Let's put that in here. I can't type. I spelled Liam L-A-I-M. Get some unit fillers for those Jade Warriors. Yeah. Although I've put in 36 of them, so that's a lot of unit fillers. There's a lot of unit fillers. Michael S. Ogres. Oh, hell yeah. So, this ogre list was... Going to my first tournament after some casual games with mates, interested on opinions about which magic to use. I have more Mournfang, Iron Guts, or Yetis as other options. Don't really have enough Noblars for another unit. So, I think there's stuff that's really good in here, and I think there's stuff in here that I would change. Double Iron Blasters, Mournfang Cavalry. This is just good. You've got Terra Demon Slayer Scars, which is a really nice upgrade that you can put on all of your unit champions. What it does is it gives you... Box comes with 30. Oh, yeah, you don't even need 6. Yeah, sorry, I got completely caught there. Yeah, Demon Slayer gives you terror on the unit champion. That's just nice to have. You've got a standard there, Cannibal Totem, giving you regen, but you only need to pursue 1d6 instead of 2d6. Great weapon, heavy armor, great stuff. All of the special is good. Into the characters, you've got a BSB on the Thunder Tusk, which is super fine. Death Cheater, so 1 Monster Slayer wound has to be re-rolled. Meteoric Eye and Talisman Protection for a 5 up, 5 up. Just all good stuff there. Great weapon is good as well. I would like a BSB, like a banner on it, but I don't know that any of these are super worth doing, so it's kind of whatever. The Thunder Tusk does have D3 impact. It's probably not worth going for the Bull Standard. Just, I think, is it the Stonehorn that has the full D6 impact? Yeah, D6 plus 1. Like, I'd be tempted to go for a BSB with the Bull Standard on this, now that impact hits outside of challenges. I think that could be pretty funny. But, yeah, this feels fine. I'm not sure I'd put anything onto that. Slaughtermaster, level 4, Butcher's Cauldron. Butcher's Cauldron, I think, is a trap, because it's an unmodified leadership test, and you can only do it if you're out of combat, so I'd probably save some points and not bother with this. Illusion, Lore Familiar, Spangle Shard, Sword of Might. Just a really nice combo here. Giant Breaker as well, giving you +1 strength, I think? Yeah, +1 strength, can't refuse a challenge, and can't flee. So this is a lot of strength 6 AP1 attacks with your Spectral Doppelganger. I'd probably just go Biting Blade. I think strength 5 AP2 Armor Bane 1 is better than strength 6 AP1. Like, I value the extra AP here when you're already strength 5 a little bit better. We can also go probably down to a level 3 wizard. I don't think you need a 4th spell, so you can shave some points here very comfortably. So all of the stuff there's good. I would change your call pretty significantly. Saber Tusks are cool, but they're only unit strength 1, so I don't think there's a huge amount of point in having them in terms of... Unless you're taking them at 5s, which is too expensive, or if you're using them as 2s just to be a bit of a pain in the backside for your opponent. So a couple of unit 2s is fine. The Ogre Bulls, I would change, and I'd make the big Death Star Iron Guts here. This unit's fine, and I don't hate having it, and I think having 4 as a scoring unit is decent. Because these two don't score, you want to have a scoring unit. And then on top of that, that's where I'd put the rest of the points into the Iron Guts, I think. So we go War Banner here. You could do another unit of Ogre Bulls, but I think it's worth going for the Iron Guts. So that you can get Veteran on there, which is really nice. The Lookout Nobbler's good as well. And if we just pump up this unit here, that gets us to... it could go up to 8. We'd have to drop something to get to 8. I don't think going to 8 is perfect. So we could do this. We could give you Terror on this unit as well, which is pretty nice, just for giving them a bit of all-round utility. Oh no, it's not extremely common. Maybe we give it the Fistful of Laurels. No, because you've got Veteran already. You've got a BSB. You don't need that. Lodestone. Lodestone's good. You may get as many spells as your wizard level now as men. Yes, level 3s can only cast 3 of the 4 spells if they have spell familiar. That is correct. Good evening, Fire Demon. 33. Going high elves for my tournament in September, so I want to have the time to go really go in on painting Cathay. Yeah, they are beautiful models, aren't they? But I think this is a better version of what you've gone for, Michael. You've got 2 scoring units that are relatively beefy. You've got a character that's more like just tuned down. It would be really nice to have the regen, but I think most of the time you're going to fail it or be in combat, so I wouldn't even bother. The Bruiser, just a solid build all round. I like what you've done with it. All of the specials good. I think this is solid. If you want, you could drop 1 Iron Gut and put the Cauldron Baton here, if you're just really looking for the regen early in the game, if you're worried about playing against shooting lists, if that, like, your local meta has a lot of local shooting. But I'm not massively worried about that personally. Or you could just move the Cannibal Banner over to the Iron Guts and just not have it on the Mournfang Cavalry. That would be also super fine. Just have them go in as heavy shot cavalry. All right then. Let's have a look here at... Let's have a look at some Empire. Galbatrix's Empire. Trying some State Troop block with the new changes. The BSB is going in the Sword and Shield group to stack Combat Res and be a pure Anvil. The Lector in the Veterans to buff them and be more like Longbeard units. Tank with shields, and then follow up with drilling wide. Okay, so we've got a foot general that has got full plate, dragon bow, shield, nothing else. I mean, it's a decent piece of artillery, and it's a leadership bubble. What's it going with, though? Archers, maybe? Let's start off by putting this up to 10, so it can at least hold a backfield objective. Steam Tank, Hellblaster Volley Gun, Double Cannon, 3 Lance, 3 Knights with Lances and full plate. That's super fine. I think that's reasonable. Then we're going State Troops here with loads of stuff. Okay. So the Captain has got the Griffin Standard, full plate, Witch Hunter Ward. Let's give it the Charmed Shield as well. Let's just give you a little bit more survivability on this model, because you really don't want that Griffin Standard to fall over. If it does, you are really suffering in the combat res department. Yeah, perfect stuff. We can't put it on this unit, can we? Yeah, we can. So we're going to swap that around. We're going to go Griffin Standard on the Veteran State Troops, and then we're going to go BSB War Banner here. missed the live dwarf lift. Sorry, bud. I missed your stream earlier. I didn't realise you and Charlie were doing it. I should have popped in. Am I thinking units of 10 or 12 for a few ablative wounds for objective camping? Yeah, I think unit strength like 12 or 14, if you can afford to put it on, seems very solid, because you want to take a couple of extra wounds. This is like a backfield unit that's going to bunker the general, so if we can find some more points... In fact, let's find some more points. Let's go down to... Actually, we don't really want to drop on that one. Let's drop on this one, down to 22, and then up to... Let's just go up to 12, and give them a marksman as well. Just solid upgrades. We'll have to find some points somewhere, so they may have to come back down, but we'll see for now. Lector Sigmar is twice bless armor, Witch Hunter's Ward on foot. This is the full plate that gives you hammer hand, right? At level 2. That's solid, honestly. That's solid now. I mean, I'd probably want to give it some sort of weapon. You got hand weapon shield. I guess it is buffing more than anything else, so yeah, that's probably fine. Captain, we've got looked at already, and then we've got the Wizard Lord, level 4, Pegasus Lord, Familiar Talisman Protection, Battle Magic. This feels fine. I would be swapping the Talisman Protection over to the White Cloak. It's the same points, it's better to go for the White Cloak. Yeah, perfect. That's a good change there. Good change. So we're 41 points over now. What would we tweak? Honestly, this probably just becomes a level 3 wizard instead of level 4. I don't think there's 4 spells that you particularly want anymore in Battle Magic. I think 3, Arcane Urgency, Fireball, and then something else, depending on what your use is. So Oaken Shield if you're in a unit, which this isn't. Or, I guess, what do you even want to go for your next spell on this one? Huh. Curse of Cowardly Flight, maybe? Hold on. Fireball, yes. Curse of Arrow Traction, probably not. Pillar of Fire, no, not anymore. Arcane Urgency, yes. Oaken Shield, no. Cowardly Flight. You definitely don't want to be a level 4 wizard. Level 3 is absolutely fine here. And then we only need to shave 11 points, which is an inconvenient amount of points. I guess we just go like 1 state troop here. And then drop a musician somewhere. Don't really want to drop the musician. Maybe we just drop the marksman. It would be nice to have, but we can probably just deal with it, honestly. Yeah, I think this probably fills the roles that you were looking at more. I would like to see more output. Like, this feels like pretty inefficient points in terms of it could be doing multiple things, and right now it's just a leadership bubble and also a war machine. But yeah, I think it's fine. I don't hate it. Okay, cool. Well, with that in mind, this looks solid. It's a nice little combined arms list. I think Empire might still be in a boat where if you want to be as cutthroat as possible, you just go full artillery, full guns, maybe a couple of wizards still. That sort of jobby. But, yeah, I think having some fun stuff in there, like some combat res bricks for holding objectives is good and will probably make it into lists. And the Demogryph Knights are just cool, so I'm super jazzed to see them. I think they'll do a pretty decent unit of actually cleaving through enemy infantry. They've got... they don't have first charge. Interesting. Maybe you'd want to put some knights in, but I'm not going to tweak around too much, because that would be completely rewording things. Did we get an answer to Earthen Ramparts stopping impact hits and stomps? I'm 99% chance they do. Hey Liam, how you doing? Just got in to watch. Good timing. I've just gone through your list. It looks like you've found it there. Yeah, I like it. I was saying that someone pointed out that you could drop down to 1 battalion box and get some unit fillers here, and then drop like a rocket battery, and with the 100 and something that you save on that, put something else cool in. But whatever you fancy going for, I think this is fine. I think this works quite nicely. It's sort of like a balanced take all comers list instead of just leaning into the things that are very obviously good. All right, Byron, Mortarch of Mistakes. This is an interesting list. So, High Elf list you're planning on bringing in September. Bit of a meme, keen on trying a whole host of stuff I don't often see, like Dragon Mages, Dragon Princes, and Phoenix Guard. Dragon Princes, very good. You're going to start seeing them pretty soon. Phoenix Guard, if you could score with non-core infantry, you would definitely be seeing these things. And I think it's a shame that they didn't just say it's either unit strength 10 or unit strength 10 infantry for the more restricted things, because then we'd actually see infantry outside of core. But maybe that would open up some abusive play patterns. I don't think so. I'd love to see this brick. I think this is really cool. It's a toughness 4, 4-up save brick. You've got the Blessings of Asuryan for a ward save against flaming attacks, which are less prevalent now, but, you know, it's still nice to have. You have bad halberds. You don't get the extra AP on them, which is a real shame. But you do fight in an extra rank. So you've got 3 ranks of attacks coming in from these halberds, and they're just cool. You know, I want to run Phoenix Guard. I'm not going to be, but I can see why you would, and I don't think you're gimping yourself too hard. Dragon Princes are just so many points for a T3 1 wound bottle. Kind of. Like, you're paying... So you get 37 points. That's not too expensive. Because it does come with a 2-up save, and you've got 2 attacks based. So you're getting a whole host in there. Keep in mind you've got Dragon Armor for a 6-up ward as well, which is really nice. You've got Drilled. You've got First Charge, which is great. You've got Impetuous, which we all love. You've got Counter Charge. Okay, maybe Impetuous isn't a rule that we're actually... jazzed about. Ilthamar Barding and Weapons. Weapons will come up in second round, but Barding comes up a lot. Sons of Calidor as well is fine. It's just, you know, specifically you can only join it with things that you've upgraded. You may as well upgrade units that want to join it with the Blood of Calidor Elven Honor, because you get free plate armor. So instead of costing 15 points, it costs 9 points, effectively. And you get, you know, +1 weapon skill. So I think they're solid, and I'll definitely be looking at playing some. Phoenix Guard could become Swordmasters, but yeah, they're exactly the same. As an unsupported unit, I like Phoenix Guard more, because you can get them to T4, because they're the only unit that can carry the Banner of Resilience outside of a Battle Standard Bearer. So if you're going for it, that would be the way to do it. If only the Stormweaver could have honors. I know, that would be really cool. Okay, so you've gone for Handmaiden General, and you've gone for 20 Sisters of Avalon with the Bow of the Seafarer. And then you've gone for an Archmage. Okay, so this is joining the Dragon Princes. Cloak of Beards, Scroll of Transmogrification. Alright. You are welcome to put these items back. Causing Terror is fine. I don't hate that. Scroll of Transmogrification, unless you are specifically in the group of people who takes that on every list. Oh, I've got a feeling that you're on the group of people who takes it in every list. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it. I'm not even going to touch it. If you watch this, Byron, and you're not honor bound to take it, don't, because it's not very good, and you want to be in combat, so you're going to struggle to dispel. Although you can dispel if you're in combat with the person you're dispelling against. However, if it's a non-negotiable... Yep, there we go. I knew it. Oh, hey, it's you, Byzantine Byron. I was just talking to a Byron as if they weren't here. Yep. You guys are pretty well known. As soon as I see that item, there's something in the back of my head that goes, oh, it's this lot again. And I respect you for doing it. I wouldn't put it in my list. It's so expensive. But I really do respect you for doing it. Blood of Calidor's nice. I'd like a melee weapon with this, because you get +1 weapon skill. I guess you've only got 2 attacks and you're going illusion. Alright, I no longer want a weapon with it. That's fine. So let's go top to bottom. I don't know that this is super, like, worth doing. You haven't got any support for it, so this unit's just gonna, I guess, sit in open order and shoot on a hill. I guess that's fine. That's pretty efficient core shooting. Thoughts and Dark Elves. Stupidity sucks, man. Stupidity sucks. I don't know. I need to play around with them. The Manticore, like, I'm having my eyes open to the Manticore. So I'm going to, after stream, I'm going to get some food. I'm going to lie down and I'm going to think about the Manticore. Not like that, you pervs. Cool. So, Dragon Mage, level 2, Elementalism. Why Elementalism? I don't see a reason for Elementalism. Cedar Rebirth, Opal Amulet. You're realistically not going to cast any spells, so let's just go Battle Magic so you can cast Hammer Hand, and let's probably honestly not bother with being level 2. Like, just save the points, I would say. Roll a spell. Even with 2 spells, you're unlikely to get anything that's worth taking, so I think just going level 1 here is probably better. We could just make this an actual good caster. Let's do that. Archmage, level 3. Blood of Calidor. Free full plate. Sun Dragon. It's not that much more expensive. Plague of Rust mostly. Elementalism is I like TMP, but you're not wedded to it. Yeah, but you're just not going to get any of the spells that you want with level 2. And you're also not going to cast them, because you're only getting +1 to your roll. But if you wanted to go down that route, let's go level 3, Silvery Wand, Opal Amulet, Seed of Rebirth, into Elementalism. Then you've got 4 spells, and that's still a pretty cheap unit. You've gone 60 points over here, or rather, I've gone 60 points over for you. And we can just take those points out of, like, 1, 2, 3, and how do we put the points back in? Give them the musician back. Yeah, something like that. I think that's just worth doing as an upgrade. Over the wizard that you had before, you're getting a lot more. You've still got magic resist. You've got increased dispel range. You're casting it plus an additional +1. You're still the same Sun Dragon. You maybe find points for a Moon Dragon, but maybe you don't bother. Level 3 wizard, good stuff as well. I think this is like within the meme that you were talking about. This feels better, right? Can an Archmage cast if he's wearing armor? Yes, he can. You don't actually need it. I'm just taking it because it's free. The dragon has the full plate anyway, but you've got here. Blood of Kalador gives you Dragon Armor. Dragon Armor gives you a 6-up ward, that's fine. So this is also nice because it gives you a 6-up ward for when you're not using your Opal Amulet, but it also gives you wearing armor without penalty. It's a little bit conflicted as to whether you can buy armor now that you've got this option. I would say you can. I think technically it's not clear, but we're not going to buy you any armor there. This just feels like a really solid dragon to run around. It's only T5, so it's a small dragon, but yeah, I think this is a less of a mistake. Sorry to ruin your name. Like so. Like so. Alright. Dragon Mage with extra steps. Yeah, Dragon Mage that's just a little bit less sad. You're very welcome, Byron. I hope it goes well for you, because you've made a lot of fun choices, and I really respect that. I didn't even talk about the Silver Helms. Silver Helms are just solid. Like, maybe I'd drop the Standard Bearer, but I don't care too much. What you need this unit for is to charge with first charge and a unit champion alongside the dragon if you want it to do anything, because otherwise you're just going to be eaten by a challenge. So this is necessary for doing that. Same with the Dragon Princes, they can do it, but they're more likely to go off and kill something on their own. Where are we up to next? Do we want to look at Warriors of Chaos, or do we want to look at Warriors of Chaos? What do you think, chat? What do you think? Let me know. Warriors of Chaos 1 or Warriors of Chaos 2? Bogdog. Late to the party, I, the Witch Elf Peter List, was only kind of subbing in Witches for Corsairs, thinking they're better, but they'll just be Corsairs again now, take another Sorcerer. I'll be honest, Corsairs, also not it. If you have like a collection and you're willing to make some subs, what I would say, the best core, and I'm not going to link this again, but the best core is just say, goodbye, Witch Elves. Oops, no, I duplicated them. Oh no, this is my worst nightmare. My worst nightmare. Dark Riders, so we're going to go... Dark Riders, Dark Riders, Dark Riders, Dark Riders. Like, this is immediately just better core. 4 units of 6. They're all skirmish. They're all unit strength 12, so they can hold. You're going to really struggle to hold any objectives for any length of time, but I think you're going to really struggle to hold objectives for any length of time with this army anyway. So you may as well do it well, and you can go for the fast scoring. And then you free up some points here, because you're obviously not taking the Death Hag. And I don't know what you put in, honestly. I wonder if there's enough points to go double High Beastmaster on Manticore. I don't think that's correct, because you've only got 2 saves, and you've got both ward saves in here. Try not to Dark Rider on the core, but grabbing objectives with Riders seems stronger for sure. Got an email about Dark Riders in stock. Yeah, that's super fair. That is super fair. The other thing you can do as well is you could just go like Warriors. They are the cheapest core you can go for on a point per wound. Blackout, the Corsairs are 3 points more per model, and that is, sure, you get like a repeater handbow for free, but the repeater handbow doesn't do anything. 12-inch range, strength 3, multiple shots, 2 quick shot. That exists. Yay. Or instead you just go Warriors, and even though they come... Oh, you don't even come with speeds. You just hand weapon shield them, and, you know, you can go... Probably give them Veteran, give them, maybe even give them like a stubborn banner, go for a large unit, potentially bunker in a wizard with them. Like, so let's just tweak that here. And this is, I'll be honest, a little bit selfishly motivated for me, because I like elves and I want to think about them. So I'll get back to the Warriors of Chaos in a second. So let's say you go like this. You go the Banner of Iron Resolve. I think Stubborn is super good now. It's actually worth going for. There is a Stubborn banner for this army if you go for a BSB anyway, isn't there? Banner of Nagrife? Stubborn and +1 combat res. Ooh. You could either put this in. Like, if you wanted to support them, you could go this caster. We can't also go another caster. Okay, so we're going to remove the BSB. The BSB is one way you could go. The other way you could go is level 3 wizard. On foot, we're going to go Talisman... Nope, not Talisman Protection. We're going to go Lore Familiar. Here. We're going to go like 2 Power Scrolls. And this is going to be way better, because it's going to cast Oaken Shield and Arcane Urgency, and it's going to make the warriors a brick that can kind of hold. I don't know, it's bringing enough combat res here, but something like this is maybe the direction I'd go in. 65 points though, Jinkies. Yeah. The problem is, Stubborn, like, you're paying 50 points here for Stubborn on the Banner of Iron Resolve. You're paying an extra 15 points to give yourself +1 combat res, so that's under rate for War Banner. And you could combo it with War Banner here, but you'd have to put a BSB in. So I actually kind of like the High Beastmaster Dragon combo you got here. That's kind of cooking. It's interesting. But yeah, you could potentially go for a Bunker of Warriors and just keep them as cheap as possible. They're not cheap, they're elves, but 8 points a model, it's not too bad. Or I guess 9 points a model when you give them Veteran. Given that you can, you've got a 4-up armor save in combat, you've got a 5-up ward with the Supreme Sorceress. It's got something. Now that infantry across the board can more reliably win turn 2. Stubborn's more OP. I think Stubborn's really important if you can get it. I'll be looking for Stubborn and Shield Wall on all of the core infantry that I can. I think that's going to be really good. Blackguard, don't make them fly, that's funny. It is funny, but then I'm not sure what they do. Honestly, I'm not sure what they do. Cool. So, Old World Cthulhu, 79 viewers, 49 likes. That's a really good ratio. Like, I mean, I'm not going to say no to more, but that's a really good ratio in terms of what I normally get. I normally get sort of like 20, 25%. People just don't typically click the thumbs up button. And I think, at above 50%, we're above the normal ratio that you would get on a YouTube stream. So, big fan of that. Thank you all. How many dragons can you fit in a list now that Aspiring Champs can ride them? Aspiring Champs can't ride them, has a flavour, just Exalted Champs, so it's still just 3. But there is scope to an Exalted Champion on Dragon, especially because you can go BSB with War Banner. So yes, you lose the 1 combat res for being close order, but you just gain 2 combat res otherwise, which is funny to me. If they have Chaos Hounds, go with the Warriors of Chaos list that has the goodest boys. That's fair. I'll have to double check that one. Ambush units stonks up now? Yes, they absolutely are. Ultra Loth, especially those that have +1 to arrive. Michael Saxton, thanks for the feedback on the Ogre list. Look forward to my first fantasy tournament in 20 years. Hell yeah, that's great. I hope you have a good time. I hope it goes well for you. Old World's such a fun game. I'm super pleased that people are picking it back up. What else have we got here? Dragon needs help flanking the eye, so it'll give it extra attack, so happy the combos have sort of tactic approval. Yeah, absolutely. Hit like everyone. You submitted a list with 83 Elven Spearmen, but later deleted it. I mean, you kind of cook in there, Strife. I don't think it's good. But what if they were... Seaguard, What if they were Seaguard? Did you just say Shield Wall? Don't tell the High Elves. Spearmen are persona non grata. High Elf Spearmen don't have Shield Wall, do they? I'm pretty sure they don't. They do have Shield Wall, and it's a flat cost? Okay. I'm reconsidering all my life choices. I haven't even looked at them in so long. Oh. I can take a 50-point banner. Fear and Terror is not bad. This is rerolls. Banner of Illyrian is move through cover. Banner of Confidence is... I don't remember this one. Stand and shoot. It's not good. What about Seaguard? They can't have Seaguard. He doesn't look at them, who would? I mean, that's fair. I can't be mad at that. That is a super fair comment. Wait, hold on. Are they 11 points per model? 9 points per model. Why do they cost more? Why do they cost more? I guess it's because they've got the spears built in. I would rather just have the hand weapons. But, I mean, thrusting spears +1 initiative is quite nice, because you combo that with your initiative 4 base, your +1 initiative for being elven reflexes, you strike at initiative 6. There's something there. There's something there. Attacking 3 ranks, yeah. And honestly, going from a 5 up to a 4 up save is nice, but it's not as game breaking as 4 to a 5 up. Thoughts on a Tomb Guard block with halberds? I think they're very interesting. I'm interested in going for it. Which app are you using to make the list? Old World Builder. old-world-builder.com. Yeah, I strive. I don't know if I'd go for 80 or something, but I like the concept of building around it. So thank you for pointing that out to me. Last week or something, I sent a list with Seaguard and an Elementalism caster. I'm just saying it looks stonkers. It looks more stonkers than it did before. This time last week, I would be like, that's a themed list. This time this week, I'm like, hold on. Let him cook. Let him cook. Someone said something. Sakuda said, where do we submit our list? So it is in Discord. The way that it works is I open submission on the Thursday night or the Friday morning before Fix My List, and then we submit them, and I close submissions about an hour before the stream, and then I put all of the lists in. Oh, huge shout out to everyone who actually submitted the JSON file. That made my life a lot easier. Obviously, I've been really busy recording, so that was really nice not having to mess around. Really big fan of that, because it meant that it took me about 25 minutes to prep for stream instead of the normal hour 20. Makes my life a lot easier. Yeah, so thank you. Okay, we're gonna go with Lord Kibbleston's, because I think this is the one that needs more tweaks. So, Lord Kibbleston's Warriors of Chaos. New Warriors for FAQ. Want to make Chosen or Warriors work. Test list for the new match play game I'm having next week, so hence more infantry. Do whatever you fancy, though I'm easy. You got a wide range of easy access, so you can swap units about. Thank you, Jay Martin. Appreciate that. Yeah, there is a lot of thought process that goes into it, I guess. So. All I've had is 221 blocks of White Lions. White Lions are definitely more interesting. I think that, especially now that the Tracing Woodsman detachment, it's not called that, whatever the Trace detachment's called, now that it gets a wood guaranteed, you can block line of sight for scoring, and you can put scouts on objectives. I think there's a lot more play there. I'm really interested in playing around with that. Alright, Strife, have a good weekend. Hope everything goes well for you, and we'll see you around, buddy. Okay, so let's go. Chaos Lord. We've got Mark and Nurgle. As previously discussed, we do have to make it Mark and Nurgle on the chariot as well, which really sucks, but otherwise it's good. You can't go Enchanting Aura. That is now only infantry and cavalry, so we have got to leave that off the chariot, which is a real shame. So that frees up some points. Then we've got the Exalted Champion, Mark and Nurgle. Again, we've got to pay extra points to get Mark and Nurgle on here. Too Fair with the Gods, extra arm. I don't think I'd be paying extra arm here. With those points, you know what you could do? You could just give yourself a cheeky regen and poison attacks. I think that's way better. The poison attacks, if you roll any 6s, getting +2 to wound is just tasty to have. It's only 5 points more than the other regen, so that is how I would be building around there. These are nice sort of solo units, and I'd also give this probably... Have you got War Banner already? I'm not sure you've used it. Yeah, let's go with give you BSB and War Banner, and you just get some static combat res. You've got the impact hits. This guy is here to slap. 2 units of 20 spearmen with sheer wall and 9 archers is 500 points exactly. Swap the archers out for reavers with short bows. Yeah. Reavers, fast cavalry are good scoring. Core fast cavalry, a big fan. Yeah, so tweak the characters slightly. I like what you've gone for here. Like the Killy Chariot Lord and the tanky, or well, I've made it tanky, but the Exalted Champion, it's tanky, it's got magic, combat res there. You get a lot of value out of that, I think. Dragon Ogres with great weapons, heavy armor, just generally good. Gigantic Spawn. This needs an upgrade. We're going to make it Nurgle. 25 points, absolutely huge upgrade there. Hey, Connor's here. Realised enchanting aura mistake just after you submitted. Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. So, arguably you did it just to keep me on my toes. And you thought Knights of the Realm on foot, I might happen to own 80. Hell yeah. I think they're pretty interesting now, because you get up to a 3-up armor save in combat, and you can stack a reasonable amount of stuff into them, and they're cheaper than Knights of the Realm on horse. And I'm not super in love with the Knights of the Realm on horse, so yeah, I'm not opposed to them. I think you can build around them. Those and either Men-at-Arms or Yeomen-at-Arms, depending on which detachment you're building in, are really nice for filling out your core. Now, I think big bricks of infantry for Bretonnia is something we're going to see more of, which is really funny to say, given that it's the Knight detachment. Okay, so all of this is good. Let's tweak around with this core, because I think there's some good stuff that we can do, but I think we just want to tweak it around. So you've got a unit of Chaos Knights here. You've gone Mark of Nurgle. I don't love Mark of Nurgle on core units. I think just having the, like, not paying points, getting the Fear, Panic, and Terror test rerolls is really nice. You've only got Leadership 8. You might not be in range of the Chaos Lord, because it's only got a 12-inch leadership bubble. Having the champion's really nice, because you can combo it with either of these chariots to make sure that you can't get challenged out. So I do like this unit just in general. Good stuff to start off with. Then we've got Forsaken. Forsaken by Khorne. Khorne are good. Obviously, you get the Hatred all enemies rule. Slaanesh is pretty good as well. I think because people are going to come towards you if you're scoring, I like this more. What I'd like to see, I think, are bigger units of Forsaken. Yes, they can kill stuff, but they are immune to psychology. They're stubborn. They're a pretty tanky unit because they've got Chaos Armor and they've got a 5-up armor save. I'm pretty curious to see what happens if we just go, here's a bigger brick of Forsaken on a point, and we hold them. I think this is a much better way to use them. If you've got 14, this is probably, like, this feels solid. We could maybe cut some out, but I think 14, you can still take a couple of models as casualties and hold. I might like to go bigger, but they are pretty expensive. Marauders are fine. I don't hate them at all. I think I'd be going, probably give one skirmish and give one open order. Maybe not, actually, because combat res is really important. No, I take that back. Let's leave them as close order. We are going to give them both Marauder Chieftains. The reason for that is if you get charged by a dragon, you absolutely have to have a unit champion to challenge out. And now that they might only do 2 wounds to you, like 1 wound and 1 wound of overkill, then they lose all of the extra attacks at initiative step. Losing the... if you're bringing, like, 2 ranks... Oh, and you got Shield Wall as well? That's so rude. Yeah, no, new plan. Sorry, we're getting rid of the flails. We're going shields. As always, feel free to tweak around with this, but I think this is such a strong unit that you can, like, very cheaply just sit on a point, tie something up with Shield Wall. That's so good. Why do Marauders get Shield Wall for free? That's disgusting. That's disgusting. We all hated having champions did a few days ago. Oh, well, only on stuff that wanted to get all their attacks in. So I was running a lot of unit champions with High Elves, obviously for the Ring of Fury, and I found that it wasn't actually as much of a hindrance as I had initially thought it might be. Then we've got 28 warriors here. You've gone full command, you've gone hand weapon shields, undivided. I think that's fine. I'd be tempted to give them halberds as well, so you can follow up and do some additional damage, but it's not necessary. What I'd be tempted to do, potentially, is go Slaanesh, because they start at initiative 4, right? So you give them a character in there with Enchanting Aura, you go Slaanesh, you give them halberds, and they get to make loads of attacks back at you. I don't know if that's worthwhile, especially because you only get the additional AP if you charged. So maybe you just go hand weapon shield and you still do it. But yeah, I think that's interesting. I do like the concept of just a big beefy brick. Like here... You've got Forsaken that hit pretty hard. You've got Warriors that are super tanky. You've got Marauders that are cheap. All 3 of these hold objectives really well and have relative levels of punch. And then we're sort of 20-odd points under. I like this. I like this. Warhounds are just really good. I know you're not going to have... yeah. Let's go at least 1 unit 5 Warhounds. Just having them in marching column, you can send them off to try and destroy a baggage cart, or just use them for move blocking and for marching. Warhounds are really good. I'd like 2 of them, but, you know, is what it is. And then we've got to shave 11 points, so let's just take off 1 Chaos Warrior, and I think that's super fine. So something like this works very well, I think. I like the limitation here. It says 0 to 4 core units. It's meant to be 0 to 4 per each core unit, but... Yeah, that's fine. No Warpfire Dragon. They're good. Gigantic Spawn of Chaos got a lot better. They were already good, they got a lot better, and they're very cheap. You're on 20 Forsaken of Khorne. A month ago, they were very good, missing a couple of charges that cost me occasionally. Love that unit. That's interesting. That is interesting. 27 Foot Knights with the Prophetess for magic attacks res, and the Strength +1, AP -1 spell is finally justified. Excellent. I think that's genuinely good. I think you could even... You don't have to index super hard into it, and Bretonnians love having their character points, so you maybe can't put a BSB in there as well, but a Paladin on foot in that, you can get pretty juicy in terms of making sure you hold a point. You just have to then back it up with a couple of really killy characters and probably some Pegged Heights. That's how I'd recommend. So yeah, something like that, Mr. Kibbleston. Lord Kibbleston, I can only apologise. Oops. There we go. So let's go. Lord Kibbleston. There we go. That's the book you mentioned earlier. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. What made Gigantic Spawn better? The thing that was keeping them down, poison shooting, was a big issue for them. And poison shooting is effectively dead. Like, the big poison shooting units are nowhere near as good at killing big stuff. So they can kind of roam free. The worst things that you could take against poison shooting, high toughness, moderate number of wounds with a low save, and that is exactly what a Gigantic Spawn was. So seeing the change there makes me happier. Alright, to round this out, we've got another Heralds of Darkness list. A Herald 0 of Darkness list, as I typed it. So this is Lex Moon's list. What did Lex Moon say? What did they say? Having another look at Herald's O Darkness list, here's my first try after the FAQ. I don't have a dragon. Cool, that makes sense. Still 50% as good as it was. Yeah, but nobody's going to run poison shooting bricks. Like, that's just out of the meta. So, and also the change where if you move, you used to be able to shoot the entire unit into a large target, and now you cannot do that. You only shoot 2 ranks. Absolutely huge. You lose a lot of shots into it. Like, big poison shooting bricks are completely dead, which I am super pleased about. You are welcome, Connor. You're very welcome. Alright, so Lex Moon has got... Out of the meta? Out of the game? Hell yeah. Fuck that unit, says the man who enjoyed running dragons. The thing that was countered by them. Glad to see 2 Heralds list the stream. I know. I'm very pleased. So we've got a Chaos Lord on a Chosen Chariot. You've got a great weapon. We're going to downgrade you to a Flail in terms of points, but having the initiative is really important. Favour of the Gods, Talisman of the Pack, Carrying Crow. Alright. We're going to give you a couple more Favours of the Gods. I like 3 on my characters. You want to get pretty spicy with the rerolls, in my opinion. But yeah, triple saves Chaos Lord. That's nice. Exalted Champion. We've got, again, Nurgle, Obsidian Dreadglaive. Obsidian Dreadglaive. Strength +2, AP -1, Armor Bane 1, Killing Blow. I'll be honest, I don't think there's anything in here that makes me jazzed to play it. Especially because it doesn't get the buff that... Or I don't think it gets the buff anyway. Maybe it's one of the magic items that got buffed in the FAQ. I still think even if it does get buffed, we still just go take that off, put on the Crown of Everlasting Conquest, go 2 more favours, and give you a flail. Like, I think that's just out and out better. If you need magical attacks, you can just swap to your hand weapon. I think that's just way more consistent. Do you reroll on things other than 1 with the gaze? It depends on the game. Depends on the setting. Sometimes you just need some more juice, so you aggressively roll. Not sure how the Virtue of Nightly Temperature dodged any nerfs. Yeah, I know. It's wild, isn't it? It's almost like they changed the points for Pegasus Knights and the Royal Peg, and was like, oh, that'll do. It will not do. It will not do. Chaos Steed, Demonology, Exalted Sorcerer. Huh. I mean, the very least, we're going to go Spell Familiar here. You really want a better chance of getting off the good spells. I think if you're going for it at all, you want to index into it. Oh, God, you lose the Mark and Nurgle spell, which is a shame, because that is nice. I think you still go for this. I wouldn't bother with a favour here. I don't typically roll on my wizards. Chaos Steed. Yeah, that looks good. If you re-roll into a 1, you can't re-roll it a second time. Yeah, you can never re-roll a re-roll. That's correct. So it is risky, but sometimes you just work out how it goes. Oh, Broma Sapien, you're running some demo games of Old World tomorrow. Can't wait to mess up a bunch of rules. We all still do. Don't feel bad at all. So we've got knights. So 2 Nurgle knights. And then we've got undivided. Nurgle. Alright, because you've gone 3 Nurgle characters, you've gone 3 Nurgle knights, that makes sense. Honestly, I kind of like what you've gone for here. I'd like to see some Warhounds in the list, but I don't know that I would tweak much. Do we lose the standards? I think the extra combat res is probably really important now. I don't think I want to lose any models out of any of these units. I'd lose 1 on the Chosen Knights. Down to 7. I could live with 7. Banner of the Dark Powers. Is that the magic resist? Magic resist 3. That is expensive. I don't know if I love that. But you haven't really got much magic resist otherwise. Does Tzeentch Warriors with a Wizard have a place now? Potentially. Yeah, potentially. Now that +1 to cast is so valuable, like, I'm willing to forsake the rerolls for giving multiple Wizards +1 to cast. I might be tempted to put a BSB in that unit as well, because otherwise it runs away. At which point it becomes a hell of a Death Star, which is, I think, an interesting angle to attack Warriors of Chaos core from. Their core is so good that you can actually run it and not feel bad about skimping on the rest of the stuff. Which is wild, because their core, like their special, rare, and characters are all nuts good. But because of scoring, you could potentially go 1,000 points of core and 1,000 points of characters and not be dissatisfied. I have to play around with that list. I'm not 100% sure how it would go, but I think that's an interesting way to potentially build. Okay, so 21 points over. What would we shave here? We could shave 2 talismans. That would be 10 points. We could shave that. That would put us back where we were. I think what we have is too valuable, so I'd be more tempted to just drop down to 7. I think 7 down from 8 is not like a noticeable change, especially because you don't need to be unit strength 10 to score with this unit, because you can't, because it's not core. At which point, I guess, what do we got here? Light armor. Oh, you haven't even given them shields. I'd be giving them shields. Fast cav with shields survives way longer than you think it should. Also, let's give them cav spears as well, because it's free. And then we've got 12 points to fill in. I do like the musicians. I would like Marauder Horsemen on both of these units, and that means we're going to have to find 2 points. Okay, so we're going to lose a Favour of the Gods. The reason that we're going for the unit champions on the Marauder Horsemen is if you want to charge them in alongside the chariots, you can use them to soak the challenge, which is way more important now in terms of what we've got here. So, yeah, I think that's good. Also, if you've got the Sorcerer in one of the units, which you don't, you have it in one of the Chaos Knights or the Chosen Knights, probably the Chosen Knights, you've got something to protect them. But yeah, so I think that works. I think some small tweaks there, but I think that makes the list play a lot more consistently. So if we go at next moon, and boom. All right, hell yeah, that was a good stream. Thanks all. I am starving. I need to have some food. I need to remember to eat before streams. I've been eating later and later on non-stream days, so I've been finding that I'm not hungry until sort of like 8, half 8, 9ish, and then by that point I'm in the middle of a stream on a Tuesday and a Thursday, so maybe I should fix my sleep schedule a little bit better. But hope you all have a great weekend. There'll be another video coming tomorrow. There'll be another video coming the day after that. There'll be a video coming the day after that. I hope you get the picture. Plenty of content coming your way. Thank you, Broma Sapien. Thank you for everyone for chiming in, for turning up, and as always, being active and engaged in the chat. Really do enjoy talking to you all. And on that note, I'm going to go to eat and or sleep.